Welcome to NXT TakeOver.
WWE Universe The Mobile Game and Mayans on FX present NXT TakeOver Toronto.
Here in the home of the NBA champion Raptors, the black and gold brand is once again going to posterize the wrestling world with a SummerSlam weekend slam dunk. Live from the 6, you're getting your NXT fix. This is TakeOver Toronto 2. This is how we do. Mauro Ranallo along with Nigel McGuinness, Beth Phoenix. In the words of the Sixth God, we're going from 0 to 100 real quick, Beth. T-Dot holds a special place in your heart.
T-Dot means so much to me. This very arena is where I had my very first tryout with WWE. And now tonight at TakeOver 26, we have 2 women's matches. I couldn't be more excited.
A lot of great memories here, but talking of memories, what memories will the Undisputed Era leave Toronto with? Will they be draped in gold, or will they go home empty-handed? With that in mind, let's take you now to our Spanish announce team, Carlos Cabrera and Marcelo Rodriguez.
Gracias, Dayo. Aquí estamos en el TakeOver Toronto. Todos los títulos están en juego.
Y esta noche podría ser absolutamente mayullera. ¿Y saben qué? Eso es absolutamente indisputable. ¡Ja, ja! ¿Qué piensas tú?
No,
se los
yo
aseguro.
Yo no creo.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 492 pounds, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford. They are the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits.
13,745 fans here in Toronto about to have an impromptu street party. The fire alarm is about to go off as the Street Profits are bringing all the smoke as the NXT Tag Team Champions. And guys, this match promises to be a 5-alarm blaze. It's a Red Cup celebration.
call the fire marshals and get this match started.
Oh, Nigel, don't be a fuddy-duddy. Come on, the entire NXT universe is dancing along. Where's your solo cup?
Fuddy-duddy?
That's what you are. You're being stuffy right now.
You're not a grandmother already, are you?
Oh, Nigel.
Good Lord, fuddy-duddy.
Performance Center stalwarts who are now at the center of the NXT Tag Team division based on their performance in that fatal four-way ladder match where they won the vacant NXT Tag Team titles, and it all came down to a leap of faith, literally, by Montez Ford.
Of course, their opponents here tonight were in that match. But the Street Profits have never beaten the Undisputed Era. Fish and O'Reilly in a 2-on-2 matchup. A very different kettle of fish.
And their opponents, the team of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the Undisputed Era!
Oh, Canada, Kyle O'Reilly is home. The beautiful British Columbia native looking to make NXT history tonight by attempting to become the only three-time NXT Tag Team Champion. Now, Undisputed Era have been two-time Tag Team Champions. The original team, well, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, but Roderick Strong and even Adam Cole have laid claim to the NXT Tag Team title.
But all four members of the Undisputed Era at one time or another wore those prestigious tag team titles. And for Bobby Fish, this really has been a long and winding road to potentially wearing the titles again.
The NXT Tag Team titles at stake. Street Profits successfully defending the titles already against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, who were also in that fantastic fatal four-way ladder match. But tonight, one fall to determine who will walk out of Toronto NXT Tag Team Champions.
NXT Universe coming alive. Oh.
Who's a joke? Who's a joke? You think I'm a joke? You think I'm a joke?
Angelo Dawkins having some fun at the expense of Kyle O'Reilly. Slapping the taste out of Dawkins' mouth.
Certainly having a mood set tonight. We got to mention, too, that the Undisputed Era, I mean, they came here tonight to make good on their promise to end up draped in gold, to end the year, the promise that they made at the beginning of the year, to end up draped in gold. And defeating the Street Profits tonight could help that prophecy come to fruition.
To your point, Bethany, there's very a lot of pressure on O'Reilly and Fish for that exact reason. But they're certainly up to the task. You see here, a lot of grappling experience, but somehow...
Wow, Dawkins manhandling O'Reilly. Imposing his will and skill, utilizing his size advantage on O'Reilly.
But a nice ankle pick.
Oh, shoulder tackle by the bigger Dawkins.
Perhaps more effective than the mat wrestling for Dawkins.
Maybe at this early juncture, but look there.
Tag is made, in comes Bobby Fish. Like Bobby Fischer, a grandmaster in his own right, one of the most cerebral sports entertainers you will come across. Oh, leapfrog there by Dawkins, and Dawkins barrels over Fish.
Fish walked onto the train tracks.
Tag is made, and in comes Montez Ford. And boy, Ford doesn't take long to utilize those pogo sticks that he has in his legs. What a spring!
Ford gets such height.
Cover for a one count.
Gordon Dawkins, red hot champion, spent a little bit of time up there on Raw, representing the black and gold brand.
You can see the size disadvantage here for Fish.
Oh,
he's in a bad spot.
Stirring it up. Double axe handle across the forearm of Bobby Fish as the Street Profits showcasing their team chemistry, and both these teams have more chemistry than a periodic table. And in comes Montez Ford after making the tag, and quick, cohesive, crisp tags on the part of the Street Profits.
No shortage of charisma coming out of Ford, that's for sure.
Arm wringer on Bobby Fish, and Bobby Fish lands a forearm across the jaw, but he pays for it with a right hand from Ford. And there's Bobby Fish strafing the anatomy of Montez Ford, mixing up his striking attack with those educated hands and feet. Tag made, in comes O'Reilly.
You got to remember how much experience Undisputed Era has as a tag team. Fish and O'Reilly.
Wow.
See that clubbing forearm to the back of the neck.
And the Thai plum followed by the Muay Thai knee strikes. Kyle O'Reilly's resume speaks for itself.
I talked to O'Reilly earlier, and he said from here to Japan and all stops in between, we've always set the standard in the tag team division.
O'Reilly avoiding the attack of Montez Ford, but Ford with a couple of deep arm drags on members of the Undisputed Era, and that dynamic drop kick. Street Profits become NXT Tag Team Champions at NXT TakeOver 25 back in June. There's some tandem offense with the bonsai drop and the double flapjack on Bobby Fish. Here in Canada, you know there's plenty of maple syrup available, Nigel.
We just after seeing a pancake in the center of the ring.
Hold on here. O'Reilly caught a quick advantage.
Ford comes in, not the legal man.
Oh! He gets his foundation taken away from him by Bobby Fish. Now Kyle O'Reilly stalking Dawkins, but Dawkins with the forearm. Irish whip, O'Reilly hanging on and able to escape the offense of Dawkins. Tag is made. Bobby Fish is the legal man now for the Undisputed Era, but Dawkins flans O'Reilly with that European uppercut, catches Fish and drops him on the top rope. Oh, what an elbow by Fish.
Finally, the numbers make a difference. Fish and O'Reilly doggedly pursue the advantage, and finally they've got it.
Fish wasting no time taking advantage.
Fish and O'Reilly with much more experience as a tag team, but they are the challengers here tonight.
You see, the first thing the Fish did was cut off the ring, put his opponent right in the corner where he's at his most vulnerable.
You know, O'Reilly and Fish fit like Lego, and crossing them well hurts like stepping on Lego as Dawkins is finding that out. Oh, and O'Reilly with that punishing attack.
Great precision offense.
So fluid.
Smart for O'Reilly to keep the bigger Dawkins on the mat.
And his home and native land showing their approbation for O'Reilly as he goes for the cover on Dawkins.
I like the slow determination on the part of the Undisputed Era at this point in the match. They know if this match goes long, it favors them. Smaller, better cardio.
And O'Reilly known for wearing his opponents down like a virus. And you're right, Nigel. The Undisputed Era able to switch gears, able to adapt, able to just outsmart the majority of their opponents. And it's no surprise, trending now at #1 NXT TakeOver as we kick things off with this NXT Tag Team title match.
You think about how important this evening is for O'Reilly and Fish to start off the night with a tag team championship win. What would that mean for Undisputed Era as a whole?
Cover here by Fish. 2 count.
Certainly will give the other members of the Undisputed Era some confidence.
And would set the stage for what could be a clean sweep for the Undisputed Era tonight. All 4 members vying for championship gold.
Wow! Nice display of strength and power by Bobby Fish.
And Fish able to neutralize. Dawkins makes the tag to O'Reilly.
Absolute classic tag team wrestling, holding your opponent, making a tag, and in comes your partner.
Knee on belly position, those old school open palm strikes, full mount now, and ground and pound from Kyle O'Reilly. Dawkins trying his best to block the barrage of blows.
Dawkins got to be careful. You put your arm like that, you make yourself susceptible to an arm bar. O'Reilly electing not to try for it. Instead going now through a guillotine, front face lock.
And O'Reilly again just keeping the bigger Dawkins grounded. Restricting the flow of air to Angelo Dawkins' brain, just trying to wear down one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, but Dawkins not being denied, back up to his feet, but then eats a forearm from O'Reilly.
Wow, trading back and forth. I can't think O'Reilly's going to come out on the best of this, but maybe yes. Smart strikes.
And able to make the tag to Bobby Fish.
Dawkins is awful close.
And Bobby Fish going after Ford, but then pays for it by being on the receiving end of that back body drop, and now Montez Ford runs right over Bobby Fish.
Ford certainly means business now.
Reversal on the Irish whip by Fish. Ford comes up, jumps, leaps over Fish, and that leaping lariat levels Bobby Fish.
Nice evasion from Ford, tries it.
Belly to back suplex. Ford lands on his feet. Standing moonsault across the chest. Ford cover and a 2 count.
Ford with that rangy physique, able to put a lot more pressure here. Take a look. Not often you see a guy 6'4", 6'5" do that. Feats of agility.
Fish on the receiving end of a spine buster slam by Montez Ford. Oh!
Ford's got to keep the pressure on now.
Are we about to see an electrifying moment in sports entertainment history?
Yes, we are, but not the one we expected.
O'Reilly precluding Montez Ford from delivering the people's elbow, and the Undisputed Era now on the receiving end of a PK from Ford as O'Reilly gets flattened on the outside. Uranagi by Ford plants Fish. The cover. And Montez Ford almost retained the NXT Tag Team titles right there.
Great offensive move from the most electrifying tag team wrestler in NXT today.
We've got to keep this momentum going.
And one thing's for sure, Ford and Dawkins get along a lot better than Hobbs and Shaw as O'Reilly knocks Dawkins off the ring apron.
Oh, look at that,
Chop block by
nasty.
Fish. And that is one way to ground the high-flying Montez Ford.
Absolutely isn't a quick tag to O'Reilly. Now we're going to see Fish and O'Reilly string together offense.
Wow!
Unbelievable tandem offense by the Undisputed Era. O'Reilly back press hooks a leg. O'Reilly almost made NXT history right there. Again, O'Reilly looking to become a 3-time NXT Tag Team Champion.
Beautiful tandem German suplex.
The Revival and the Undisputed Era, the only 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions.
And you see the effect this high-impact match has had.
Oh, Achilles look.
He calls it the Achilles heel. And it could indeed be the Achilles heel for Montez Ford, valiantly trying to fight his way out of enemy territory in a precarious position.
Legs to the outside, that would indicate an attempt perhaps at a superplex from infamous Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish, a professor of sports entertainment, a true student of the game. And Montez Ford now trying to fight his way out of trouble here.
Oh, Fish who has...
Oh, wow! Sends
Come
Fish
on!
crashing back to the canvas. Oh, slap indeed. Oh, and there, Montez Ford gets crushed on
There
the
you
top
go.
turnbuckle.
Ford's going to get one back for that.
Tag was made. Kyle O'Reilly now the legal man, but Bobby Fish, Mamma Mia!
Super Exploder, O'Reilly to the top.
Oh, and the knee across the back of the leg, and there it is!
Again, driving the forearm into the Achilles tendon.
Will Ford tap?
Vicious torque on the knee and ankle.
Is the Street Profits tag team title reign coming to an end here in Toronto.
Angelo Dawkins nowhere to be seen. And those long arms of Montez Ford, can they save him? Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! Again into the Achilles lock. Is this the end? Will we see new tag champions?
Bobby Fish trying to keep Angelo Dawkins at bay. Oh, but then Dawkins sends Fish crashing down on Kyle O'Reilly.
O'Reilly is out.
NXT Universe in Toronto and Fuego, and we're just getting things started. Another titanic battle for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Just a heap of carnage left in the ring. These four men have put such an incredible effort forth.
It's a critical, pivotal moment in the matchup. Everything hangs in the balance.
Montez Ford desperate to make the tag. He does. Here comes the curse of greatness. Oh my God!
Literally using O'Reilly as a tool.
Corkscrew, Stinger Splash, running bulldog by Dawkins. And then O'Reilly able to plant the knee axe and not smash. He gets smashed for his efforts. Oh, looking to pay tribute to Nigel McGuinness. Instead, leg capture overhead, belly-to-belly suplex by Dawkins.
And Dawkins on fire now!
O'Reilly was looking for that pendulum lariat. He paid the price. And oh, wow, what a knee strike right to the face of Dawkins.
Serendipitously back to his own corner.
Oh, but the tag was made.
Board was made, a tag.
And Ford! Leaping blockbuster from the top turnbuckle. Ford with the cover. And Fish delivers a fortuitous double axe handle.
Brilliant tag team wrestling 101. Always protect your partner at all times. It was O'Reilly who had the guillotine. I don't think he was aware that a tag had been made. Let's take a look here. Well, it was the knee that sent Dawkins back to the corner. The tag was made. O'Reilly had no way of knowing that Ford was coming out of the corner. Blam! Blockbuster certainly changed the momentum.
What a barn burner to begin tonight's proceedings north of the 49th parallel. Toronto, a crown jewel when it comes to sports entertainment fandom. And what a way to kick off TakeOver Toronto 2.
Oof. Four gladiators. Oh!
All teeing off on one another. And
Just a knockdown, drag down slugfest.
It's a hockey fight.
yeah, here in the home of the Maple Leafs. Toronto, that is, of course, as, oh, wow. And Fish gets wiped out by Ford, and the knee strike again from O'Reilly. Those nasty knees have taken their toll on Angelo Dawkins.
Look at O'Reilly backing up, surveying the scene. Fish up in the corner.
And you see the evolution, the growth of the Street Profits as a tag team, now standing atop the division, but in the fight of their lives against, well, one of the most decorated tag teams in NXT history, the Undisputed Era. And here comes Montez Ford! Airborne! And O'Reilly and Fish trying to catch. Wow, and O'Reilly gets speared by Dawkins. And another spear on Fish.
Ford's heading to the top.
It's chaos. What a frog splash by Ford. And the Street Profits retain the NXT Tag Team
Here are your
titles.
winners, and still the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits.
What a match! What a hell of a way to kick off NXT TakeOver Toronto. There is going to indeed be a street party in the sticks tonight.
a successful title defense for the Sultans of Swag, but take nothing away from the Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly gave absolutely everything. Take a look at, talk about giving everything. Incredible agility from Montez Ford, who would follow up quickly. Here back in the ring, Dawkins with the spear to O'Reilly, a spear to Ford, and then
the chaotic action culminated with Ford heading to the top. A beautiful 5-star frog slash, and you see the look on his face says it all. The Street Profits are no fluke, they are the real deal.
The Street Profits celebrating with the NXT Universe in Toronto, the top dogs of the NXT Tag Team Division, just like Top Dog Entertainment's J-Rock, Nigel. It's all about win, 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 win.
What kind of universe is this? Where gravity has no limits, where the dead rise and legends fall. In every new day, you can feel the power. And to build your roster, you can't just be the man, you gotta beat the man. What kind of universe is this? It's your universe. It's your roster, your superstars, your universe, WWE Universe.
The best.
I do what I want, when I want.
Hey, cut this crap. I got something to say. Shane McMahon has got more power and more authority than anyone, and nobody wanted that. Kevin Owens has been sick of Shane McMahon. His complete ego trip. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon will meet at SummerSlam. If Kevin Owens loses, he has to quit.
WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view, streaming on WWE Network. Watch anytime, on demand.
Johnny Gargano tweeted the last time TakeOver was in Toronto, 2 out of 3 falls. NXT Tag Team Champion, 2016 Match of the Year. And this time he'll have weapons to play with. Oh boy, buckle up. Johnny TakeOver about to take over the North.
And speaking of champions, we have a former North American champion in the house, Ricochet, taking on AJ Styles tomorrow for the USA Championship at SummerSlam. Enjoy the action tonight at TakeOver.
Also, if Ricochet wins tomorrow, it will be a very emotional night for him. And speaking of emotions, coming up next, a matchup chock full of them. After turning her back on the affable Candice LeRae, Io Shirai may suffer the wrath of Tenacious C as LeRae comes to retribution against the Genius of the Sky. Next.
I am next NXT Women's Champion になりますので、日本の皆さんもぜひ応援してください。
Io Shirai takes some time to reflect and focus with someone she's become very friendly with, Candice LeRae.
Don't worry about the other two, okay? I'm here for you, okay?
Thank you very much.
Oh, you got this. Just focus on Shayna. You got this.
Yes.
You got this.
Yes.
Oh, trouble for Baszler. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes the horsewoman. Oh, here's Candice LeRae. Io Shirai is not alone. Shirai cheering on Candice LeRae. She should focus on Baszler.
That's a tap, that's a tap.
And still, NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler.
Shirai devastated.
The hype was that Io Shirai had the skill set to be the one to dethrone Shayna Baszler. Oh my God! Io Shirai has snapped!
Candice LeRae isn't sure about this.
Shirai desperate to claim the NXT Women's title. It's all about the NXT Women's title, and it is chaos in this steel cage match. Oh, there's Candice LeRae.
And she's evening the odds.
LeRae trying to give Shirai the opportunity. Mamma mia! Now Shirai. Oh my God! Shirai's gonna do it. Oh my God! Well, the third time wasn't the charm. Io Shirai falling short yet again. What the hell? I understand losing it on the horsewomen who have cost her the NXT Women's title. Candice LeRae came to her rescue. Oh, for the love of God! No!
I don't need any friend. I don't care.
The shocking change in the attitude of Io Shirai.
I don't need any of you. 白井よ、一人でのし上がっていく。誰も白井よの隣に立つに値する人間はいない。
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Making her way in the ring from Tokyo, Japan, Io Shirai!
She is the Joshi Judas. Io Shirai, she idolizes WWE masked icon Rey Mysterio, but these days she has more in common with comic book villain Mysterio, who treated Spider-Man like Shirai has treated Candice LeRae. Nigel, Shirai, who is far from her home of Japan, says she doesn't need anyone in her pursuit of NXT glory.
That's right, she made no admission of remorse whatsoever after turning her back on Candice LeRae. NXT TakeOver Toronto is brought to you in part by Tap Out. Available now at tapout.com.
I cannot recall a more drastic transformation of a superstar.
And her opponent from Anaheim, California, Candice LeRae!
And Beth Tenacious C, Candice LeRae has one objective in mind tonight. That's to make Io Shirai suffer, and she's wasting little time in getting these hostilities started.
And speaking of transformations, the attitude of Candice LeRae coming into this after a betrayal, after having her heart broken by Io Shirai being physically assaulted.
The bell goes, the match is officially underway. The sinister Io Shirai on the receiving end of this attack from Candice LeRae, and LeRae wasting little time in laying waste to her former friend, now bitter enemy. Oh my God! Shirai looking for that sunset flip powerbomb on the outside. LeRae holding on desperately to the rope, and yet still crashes down hard, face first on the apron.
The devious genius of the sky.
The genius of the sky! Oh my God! Shirai attempting to suplex LeRae through our table.
That could be it.
Candice LeRae is barely stirring, you guys.
Listen to the impact.
Oh my, Candice LeRae may be in need of medical attention already. She is barely stirring after getting slammed hard by Shirai. That suplex And this table did not give, guys.
Io back in the center of the ring, content to take a count out, clearly.
The referee is up to the count of 5, more than halfway there now. Will LeRae be able to continue? And what the hell has gotten into Io Shirai?
LeRae clutching her shoulder, her upper back.
Of course, that is the body part that was injured in the original attack by Io Shirai, who now full mount, reigning in right hands, lefts as well.
Beth, you talked about the transformation of Io Shirai, and we are getting so many examples of that. I mean, after that vicious cage match against Shayna Baszler for the Women's Championship, LeRae coming to her aid. There's a flapjack by Shirai. Oh my God, Shirai just putting it to Candice LeRae. What a cocky cover.
Shirai adopting a aggressive, vicious attitude, obviously wanting no friends by her side, no one in her path to her own success.
Shirai is sending a message to absolutely everyone tonight. I don't need friends, I don't need anyone.
Both these former friends looking to unleash hell on the other. A quintessential grudge match here in Toronto in the Distaff division. Candice LeRae trying to get back into this matchup. Flying head scissors, takeover bundle. Oh, the athletic Shirai.
And
what a drop kick.
Shirai gloating after each thing that she does. It's her new attitude is oozing out of every pore.
Certainly is enough to drive an opponent mad.
Now the camel clutch here by Io Shirai, modified, working on that injured neck.
Absolutely, the damage to the neck. LeRae was cleared to compete here tonight, but no way she's 100%. Certainly not emotionally, even if she is physically.
I'll be the first to say that Io Shirai's skills are out of this world. We're talking the Ultima Thule region, but the change in attitude has shocked the entire NXT universe, and now she's looking for the running air raid crash, spiking Candice LeRae on the canvas. Back press, hooks a leg. This one could be over. It's not. Wow.
If she wins tonight, who is going to argue with Io Shirai? Heart's got to go out to Candice LeRae, who came out here full of aggression, full of anger.
She is being systematically beaten down by the genius of the sky.
I think perhaps that anger worked against Candice LeRae. She had to try to keep it in check. And Beth, perhaps you can speak from experience of going out there with a vengeance boiling inside of you and it costing you.
Absolutely. Sometimes rivalries are bigger than championships. And in this situation, having your heart broken, having a betrayal, someone that you trusted, injure you the way Shirai did and just turn her back on Candice. I cannot blame her one bit.
Tip up, Shirai lands on her feet outside the ring on the apron, lands a right hand on Candice LeRae. Io Shirai coming oh so close to becoming NXT Women's Champion, but then finally snapping when she was unable to vanquish Shayna Baszler in the cage, and she comes crashing hard back to earth after LeRae was able to avoid that attack.
Last second, LeRae saw Shirai coming off the top with that missile drop kick.
And let's not forget, Candice LeRae is as tough as they come. Pound for pound, one of the toughest competitors on the NXT roster, and she is showing that toughness now at the expense of Io Shirai.
Not only is she tough, but she's resilient. You can't keep Candice LeRae down.
Evidently not. After that incredible suplex on our announce desk, somehow LeRae is back up in offense.
And LeRae looking to give Shirai her comeuppance, and there it is! Brain buster! Goes for the cover back press. Candice LeRae almost able to jettison Shirai and gain a modicum of revenge, because you know a simple pinfall victory would not be enough.
Candice weathered that early storm from Io, but you got to wonder if the effects are still bothering her. She's still clutching her neck, shaking her left hand. The damage may have already been done.
I don't think there's any wonder about it, Beth. There's a lot of damage to the neck. They're attempting, yes, Iron Octopus in the center. Look at the angle of the right shoulder of Io Shirai.
LeRae
But LeRae slightly off
Oh, and the
center.
knees.
If LeRae can get her right ankle underneath the calf.
LeRae struggling through the pain from her earlier neck injury.
Of course, the Octopus, made famous by one of Japan's greatest superstars, Antonio Inoki. And maybe there's some reading between the lines as LeRae sending a message to Io Shirai. Drop toe. LeRae finds herself with a whiplash effect on that middle rope. And Shirai with that tiger feint kick, paying tribute to Idol Rey Mysterio, the 619, blocked by LeRae.
Nice!
Neck breaker.
Smart move by LeRae. Saw that one coming, used it
A
to her
cover.
advantage.
Oh, and Shirai able to escape, and Candice LeRae, despite the hard-hitting offense of Io Shirai, LeRae managing to stay one step ahead of the Japanese superstar. Will she make Io Shirai pay for turning her back on not only Candice LeRae, but the NXT Universe?
Awkward landing for LeRae, who somehow was able to stop the momentum and end up on the apron.
Full head of steam by Shirai, and there it is! Tiger feint kick to the back of LeRae's neck, that injured neck. The antipathy, the enmity that exists between Shirai and LeRae is palpable.
Well, LeRae looking to fly again.
Tope into the DDT! Tope into the DDT! Spiking Shirai face first on the outside!
Shirai's in trouble!
Candice LeRae all the way to the top turnbuckle! Double stomp on the back of Shirai! Matchbook cover, will it be enough? Shirai escapes!
Kudos to Candice LeRae. Take a look here. Came for the tope, hooked the head, mid-flight, and shoots those legs through for the Tornado DD2.
You talk about adaptability, you talk about ring IQ.
Did not rest on her laurels though, threw Shirai in, went to the top rope, hit the double stomp, and nearly got the 3 count.
Of course, still to come tonight, Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's title against Mia Yim. Victory here would put the winner in pole position for another opportunity at NXT title.
Crossface in the center of the ring, driving with her hips, pulling back at the neck.
Imagine the pain that Candice LeRae is in after everything she's been through.
Io Shirai has had multiple opportunities at the NXT Women's Championship. Candice LeRae would like her first, but first, she wants to send a message to Io Shirai. But Shirai just sent a brutal message to Candice LeRae.
The velocity behind that forearm shot staggered LeRae.
In the center of the ring, waistlock, German suplex released by Shirai. LeRae, though, on one knee. And she delivers a snap German suplex on Shirai. Back and forth we go. You talk about dynamite in the Distaff division. Shirai making her way to her feet. Oh, but LeRae gets caught by Shirai. Oh, Everest German suplex, high bridge, and almost a 3 count for Shirai. She can't believe it.
What beautiful strength and flexibility shown by Io Shirai. Truly a well-rounded competitor.
He possesses the same fighting spirit as one of the most dominant champions in NXT history, Asuka, and Japanese legend Manami Toyota. Shirai, Nigel, one of those rare performers who can seemingly do it all between the ropes, and with that new edge, that cockiness and that deviousness, that can make her so much more dangerous.
That stoic attitude can prove the difference between challenger and champion.
Allegiances are split here in Toronto. Mixed chance for Bondo! Double knee strike in the corner.
LeRae's neck snapped back.
Look at her just walking over LeRae, but LeRae back up to her feet already. But Shirai lands on her feet, beautifully done.
Wow, that's the
genius
difference.
of the sky. Oh, but she goes face first into the turnbuckle. Again, just attacking that neck of Candice LeRae. Fireman's carry by Shirai. Oh, reverse Lana! Reverse Lana by LeRae! They cover down, and LeRae came within a whisker of vanquishing Io Shirai.
Innovative offense.
High-risk maneuver. Wow! Swinging neck breaker from the second rope to cover. Shirai is down, but not out.
2 7/8 though, that was very close. But take a look. Swinging neck breaker off the middle rope. Look at LeRae's neck.
Wow.
She lands as well with some impact. There was definitely some damage done there. Here from a different angle, Beth.
Take one more look. Like you said, Nigel, Candice's neck took just as much damage. Neither woman has moved.
This was what got them to that stage, changing the momentum from the offense's attack. Reverse Rana was able to get a pinfall attempt afterwards.
A familiar refrain when the black and gold brand is on display. This is awesome. This is NXT TakeOver Toronto. This is the grudge match between Io Shirai and Candice LeRae.
This is where Io Shirai is most dangerous. She earned that nickname, the Genius of the Sky.
And she's gonna take it to the sky! Mamma mia! Avalanche Spanish fly! That should be it! Are you kidding me, Candice LeRae? She is showcasing the same heart that her husband Johnny Gargano possesses.
Io cannot believe that Candice is still in this.
Can you?
No, to be honest with you. Shirai is shrieking.
A banshee scream. Eyes of disbelief.
How much heart does Candice LeRae have?
What a match. The level of brutality, the level of aggression, small package as LeRae looks to surprise Shirai. They are pulling out all the stops. Backslide, reversal by Shirai. Double underhook.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh! Into that backbreaker. I thought she was going to deliver a tiger driver there, Nigel.
Oh, and the disrespect just stepping across Candice's stomach.
And the Genius of the Sky treating Candice LeRae like Keith Moon treats hotel rooms with the moonsault.
Again!
And now you have to wonder, how will this affect Shirai mentally? No one has kicked out of her moonsault in NXT like that.
LeRae has. Now we are peering into the soul of Candice LeRae.
We're peering into the soul of Io Shirai as well.
Shirai's losing it.
And now Shirai just pulling out whatever she can. Her crucifix. Oh, what is this?
Trying for a Koji clutch in the center. Submission attempt.
Shirai looking to submit. Candice LeRae, is she tapping? LeRae desperately struggling to get out of the Koji clutch.
Shirai tied up the right arm of Candice LeRae so she couldn't tap out.
LeRae's fading.
She's out.
LeRae's fading.
She
She's
is out.
Referee calls for the bell.
Oh, yes. Statement made.
Io Shirai!
Io Shirai puts Candice LeRae to sleep.
What a matchup.
One of the most brutal bedtime stories you'll ever see, as LeRae seems to be stirring now. But she was out, and Shirai picks up another victory here in NXT.
What an incredible matchup. Take a look at the impact here. Spanish fly, but the agility to land this perfectly from Io Shirai. A thing of beauty, but it was not enough to beat LeRae.
You have to give credit where credit is due. Candice LeRae stayed in this the entire time. Here, Io Shirai's patented moonsault, and somehow, some way, LeRae found the wherewithal to kick out.
This set the genius of the Sky off. A flurry of offense, really perhaps not knowing what she had to do to beat LeRae. Here it was, a Koji clutch in the center. Take a look now at the right arm of Candice LeRae, trapped in the leg. There was no way LeRae could tap out. Securing, she was knocked out by the submission. That is just sadistic. That is mean. That is Io Shirai.
I refuse to let Brock Lesnar be the champion that defines the future. Wait a minute!
Hold on!
And the beast is on the attack. Brock Lesnar may not leave anything left to Rollins for SummerSlam.
This is all I've got. I'll be at SummerSlam, and I'll be Brock Lesnar.
WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. Streaming on WWE Network. Watch anytime, on demand.
SummerSlam weekend coming to you from the biggest city in Canada, and it doesn't get any bigger than NXT TakeOver Toronto.
You're listening to Unsainted by Slipknot from the album We Are Not Your Kind, a hashtag NXT Loud theme song for NXT TakeOver Toronto, available now on iTunes and Spotify.
And clearly Shayna Baszler has a lot on her mind as the NXT Women's Championship will be placed on the line against the HBIC, Mia Yim. Yim made sure that Duke and Shafir are nowhere to be seen, and we'll have to see what this means for Baszler's confidence heading into this match.
NXT Women's Championship on the line tonight, but now the North American top.
Bro. Nah. Bro. This is TakeOver Toronto. And I know Killian Dane is in the building. So why don't you get your hairy ass out here and fight me face to face, bro?
That's a challenge.
Matt Riddle and Killian Dane were supposed to headline a recent edition of NXT TV, but Killian Dane wiped out Riddle before the bell, attacking the original Bro again. And this time, Riddle wants Dane to meet him face to face in the center of the ring. Oh, wait! There's the Beast of Belfast, and they have collided here at ringside.
We were not expecting this. Dane trying to come in from the side to get an advantage again. Riddle, though, smart to it. Oh!
Beast of Belfast always wakes up in beast mode, and this is nothing more than a fight. And this was not scheduled to take place here at TakeOver Toronto, and that is why the officials are now coming to ringside to break apart these two superstars.
Riddle demanded a fight. He may regret that.
Look at that. Dane stamped on the foot of Matt Riddle.
Killian Dane looking to make a mark in his return to NXT. Riddle isn't done.
Oh! That's furious abandon from Matt Riddle, but one shot and to the eyes.
And Killian Dane gouging Matt Riddle's eyes. Oh, and a big knee there by Riddle. brings Dane to his the final flash, another knee strike. Riddle managing to drop Killian Dane for a change. And the former mixed martial artist with some ground and pound. And reinforcements being brought in to keep these two apart.
The original Bro came through Retribution. There was no way he wasn't getting it.
Riddle and Dane are breathing fire in this moment.
Riddle better be careful. Oh! Taking out everybody.
Wow, Matt Riddle laying waste to everyone here in Toronto. Nasty knees aplenty. Oh! But the crossbody Dane on Riddle. And it's pure bedlam here in Toronto as Killian Dane and Matt Riddle. Almost impossible to keep them apart. And now Dane laying waste.
Who's gonna stop him?
Well, who's gonna stop Matt Riddle?
Hold on!
We need more help out here.
Riddle and Dane. Oh! And Dane trying to put Riddle through the LED screen. Riddle trying to put Dane to sleep.
Oh. And Riddle's back again.
Incredible intensity on the part of both Riddle and Dane. Oh, wow! Oh, my God!
Bodies have been broken.
Bodies have hit the floor, crashing through the tables. Killian Dane and Matt Riddle. The wick has been lit on what promises to be a dynamite confrontation.
Go one.
Sorry about your ceiling.
Nice work, man.
Step inside and be the man.
To think that I'm gonna be going back to my home country to face my friend Becky Lynch. What a dream come true.
Well, congratulations, Nadia. But if you think that you're meeting your friend, you're in for a shock.
Becky, you want a war? You got a war.
Your career needs something, and I'm it.
Not the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Natalya versus The Man, a submission match for the Raw Women's Championship.
WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. Streaming on WWE Network. Watch anytime, on demand.
Some unexpected chaos here. First, the knee strike from Matt Riddle, who came here to take over for Retribution. He took out absolutely everyone. And again with the knee strike. But then, wham! Killian Dane turning things back round in his favor. And look at this chaos! Taking out a security guard, taking out Riddle, taking out two tables. What has just happened?
An amazing impromptu brawl between Killian Dane and Matt Riddle has just happened. We can't wait until they have an official NXT match. Will they be able to abide by the rules? We'll have to wait and see. And hey, a galaxy of stars are here in Toronto for SummerSlam weekend, including current Evolve champion Austin Theory. You talk about a star with a bright future. Austin Theory, a name to remember when it comes to up-and-coming sports entertainment stars.
Theory taking a look at the competition here, a big competition Coming up next, the North American title is on the line. As I tried to attempt to explain before, Roderick Strong holds a victory over Velveteen Dream. Pete Dunne pinned Strong and laid out the champion just 10 days ago. Can Dream find the courage under fire? Will he leave Toronto with the new North American champion?
Undisputed Era is calling themselves the omnipotent force here in NXT.
And Roderick Strong with designs on the North American title.
Roderick Strong is one hell of a man.
They don't call him the Messiah of the Backbreaker for nothing.
But no matter who he is or what he can do, if he gets the experience that he is asking for.
This is the most confident and capable I've ever seen Roderick Strong.
Strong will know that he is not big enough to ride this ride.
Velveteen Dream. Hit it.
The Velveteen Dream, NXT's provocative prodigy.
I don't think you deserve to be the North American champion.
From sea to shining sea.
Check him out, Velveteen Dream. This man is a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of freedom.
Purple Rainmaker.
Velveteen Dream is still the North American champion.
You know I am the real deal, and I can take your title like that.
No way! Pete Dunne is back at Full Sail Live!
Roderick Strong and Velveteen Dream. I'm the longest reigning champion in NXT history.
The Bruiserweight United Kingdom champion. Nearly 2 years.
It's that title history that made William Regal believe Pete Dunne should be in with a title opportunity for the North American title.
So at TakeOver Toronto, I'm going to win that North American Championship.
Wait a second!
Oh! And then I'll break my own record.
Triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship.
The Dream represents North America.
I'm the guy that put NXT UK on the map.
And the last time the Dream checked, he stands here NXT North American champion.
Oh my!
TakeOver Toronto.
I gave the United Kingdom Championship prestige.
The result is undisputed.
I'm going to do the same for the North American Championship.
You know who might have regrets? Men that call the Dream's name without reason. Dream over.
But you can never hide the Mountie. Always gets his back.
Ladies in my ear be talking to me, it's confessional. Saying we exceptional. Got a plug in Mexico. Only get the gas packing 9, talking Texaco. Catch me outside, I'm at the mall with a check to blow. If you ain't working hard for it, not respectable. I collect the checks and recollect while I was in the bed. All my homies ballin' with this money, we like neck to neck. 365.
Velveteen Dream.
is a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. Making his way to the ring from Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C., weighing in at 217 pounds, he is the NXT North American Champion, the Velveteen Dream!
Velveteen Dream endearing himself to the True North Strong and Free. We saw the defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors dancers with more moves than the No Guidance video, but Dream tweeted that he is proudly announcing his role as Canada's sole representative in this triple threat match. And Nigel, Canada's other official language is French, and Dream right now is, well, sporting Canadian colors, rouge and blanc, or in this case, rougeau and blanc. The Mountie always gets his man.
I see what you did there. If the Mountie always gets his man. Tonight there are two men, two superstars who are vying for their title around the waist of the sartorial superstar, Velveteen Dream. Commentary doesn't work out for you, Murray. You can fly out for the Raptors dance team. Look like you on a Friday night.
One thing's for sure, NXT TakeOver Toronto already more dramatic than a Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater. Too soon? Too soon?
Right over my head.
I was on fire tonight.
Well, this member of the Undisputed Era is always en fuego, Roderick Strong.
Introducing the challengers. First, representing the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong!
Velveteen Dream had built up a ton of momentum, creating a legacy as the North American champion until Roderick Strong pinned the champion in a six-man tag back in June. Tonight, it's a triple threat. Can Strong take the title?
NXT TakeOver Toronto is presented by WWE Universe, the brand new WWE mobile game. Assemble a roster of your favorite WWE superstars and dominate the competition. Your roster, your superstars, it's your universe. And by the all-new season of Mayans. The FX original series follows the motorcycle club's prospect, Easy Reyes, on his road to revenge. Mayans premieres Tuesday, September 3rd on FX.
And from Birmingham, England, weighing in at 205 pounds, the Cruiserweight, Pete Dunne!
Listen to that response for the Cruiserweight. Made an almost perfect return here to NXT. Immediately setting his sights on the North American title, and within no time at all had a North American title opportunity. He had the credibility as one of the most dominating WWE United Kingdom champions, and when he beat Roderick Strong, he cemented his legacy and his contendership for the title. But if you're Roderick Strong, you have to be angry, because when Pete Dunne came in, he took it from a 50% possibility down to 33%.
NXT North American title will be determined in this triple threat match. No disqualifications or countouts, and the champion doesn't even have to be involved in the decision to lose the title. So that makes title retention an exceedingly difficult proposition for the Velveteen Dream.
That's exactly what we saw when Tony Nese lost the Cruiserweight title at 205 Live.
Pete Dunne with momentum coming into this matchup, defeating Roderick Strong on NXT TV. Strong. Roderick Strong, taking umbrage with Velveteen Dream's attempt to silence him, and Roderick Strong attacking both Dream and Pete Dunne. And of course, Dunne and Strong have a checkered past.
They certainly do. It was a tag match where Roderick Strong turned on Pete Dunne, joining the Undisputed Era originally.
And of course, Pete Dunne, the longest reigning champion in NXT history, with that dominant reign as UK champion, losing to the mighty Walter. But now Dunne almost taking Strong's head off with that lariat, the Birmingham Bruiserweight.
Dunne being a late addition to this match, but I think you could argue. Ooh, awkward contortion of the fingers here. I think you could argue that Dunne has the momentum.
Oh, and Roderick Strong avoiding that stomp, but then gets clotheslined over the top rope by the North American champion.
Uh-oh.
And this is a first, Nigel, officially.
Up come the suspenders.
And Velveteen Dream in this triple threat match. Roderick Strong takes Dunne out and drives us back into the apron.
Oh.
Velveteen Dream with a couple of right hands to Roderick Strong. Corner mount, Dream drowning him with those right hands.
Dream's going to have to keep eyes in the back of his head to make sure he keeps his eyes on both opponents.
Oh, and Velveteen Dream comes down with the double axe handle on Strong. Strong, remember, pinned Dream in a recent six-man tag team match on NXT TV.
That's right there. Dream perhaps looking maybe perhaps for a sharpshooter. I couldn't see exactly what he was trying for. Strong doggedly kicked off the champion.
Well, Dream has adopted Canada as his home, and of course, one of Canada's greatest sports entertainers ever, Bret the Hitman Hart, the WWE Hall of Famer.
Roderick Strong's in trouble at the moment.
Oh, what a drop kick by Velveteen Dream.
Strong started this match off saying, pay attention to me. He got his wish. He may have wished for something different now.
Oh, interesting teamwork here between Dream and Dunne.
A temporary, tenuous allegiance, but it pays dividends there as Roderick Strong gets his arm stomped.
Some collusion between Dunne and Dream.
Let's see how long that allegiance lasts, shall we? As
not long, Morrow.
Velveteen Dream channeling it, his inner ravishing Rick Rude, saying hello to Pete Dunne. Takeover by Velveteen Dream, head scissors, escape by Dream. To think that Pete Dunne has wrestled for more than half his life, starting training at the age of 12. A prodigy, wow, right into that cross arm breaker.
Doesn't have the full extension there. Look at the angle of the left arm of Dream.
Smart Dream to turn into it to break the hold. Dunne never really got a hold of it.
Looked like MMA pioneer Ruben Asada with that flying armbar attempt, Nigel.
Very
effective. Here's the pop handle.
Oh, trying for the bitter end, but the escape from Velveteen Dream.
Oh, wow! Here in the home of the Raptors, nothing but nuts! Oh, wrecking ball drop kick by Roderick Strong! And there he slams Dreams, and Roderick Strong, a man possessed. They call him the Messiah, the backbreaker for a reason, and he's breaking backs in Toronto.
Roderick Strong was on an absolute tear before Pete Dunne showed up in NXT.
Roderick Strong has come so close to singles glory, both as NXT champion and North American champ. A former NXT tag team champion goes for the cover.
And now, if Velveteen Dream is smart, he will stay on the outside and watch Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne tear each other apart.
These two had such an epic confrontation on NXT television.
Covered by Strong. They've had an epic rivalry, both for Dunne's former United Kingdom championship. And of course, as Nigel mentioned, when Strong turned on his tag team partner, and they were vying for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and the NXT Tag Team titles.
There was a lot on the line, and Roderick Strong made a difficult decision that night.
What a crushing dropkick by Roderick Strong, who is firing on all cylinders, Beth.
And we've seen this before.
Cover!
Strong has does such a great job at pacing himself. His cardiovascular training is unbelievable. I would argue he might have the best gas tank of anybody in NXT.
His conditioning is non-parallel. You're right. He almost seems to get better as the match progresses. But here in this triple threat match again, was hoping for a one-on-one opportunity against the Velveteen Dream before Pete Dunne made his shocking return to Full Sail Live. And now they are looking to shock each other's systems.
I love the way Strong always goes back to the midsection.
And remember, Velveteen Dream doesn't have to lose in order to lose his title. Roderick Strong looking to become North American champion right there. Speaking of the Dream.
Does not need to be pinned or submitted.
No disqualifications. Telegraph that back body drop. Boot to the midsection, clothesline by the Velveteen Dream, attacking Roderick Strong's breadbasket. Russian leg sweep, floats over for the cover, doesn't hook the leg, and Strong escapes.
Dream has to continue to keep himself in this matchup if he wants to walk home with the North American Championship.
Oh, a Messiah of the backbreaker getting some of his own bad medicine, Nigel, with a pendulum backbreaker.
A lot of momentum there, folding Roderick Strong. Whoa! Up like an accordion, and again, perhaps an homage to Bret the Hitman Hart.
Papa Ranello will appreciate that accordion.
There we go, Nigel.
And speaking of the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Velveteen Dream with a sharpshooter here in Canada.
Many a legend has tapped out in this maneuver. Extremely painful on the lower back.
Well, Pete Dunne all the way to the top turnbuckle and drives both of his feet into the back of the Velveteen Dream.
Take a look here. Dunne had two opportunities, either go for Dream or for Strong. He chose Dream, and now will attempt to follow up.
Dunne looking for that Pescado, instead eats the right hand, courtesy of the Velveteen Dream, as his triple threat match breaking down here. Oh, and another wrecking ball dropkick by Roderick Strong. And he has looked so strong in his matchup.
Beautiful moonsault from Pete Dunne.
No countouts, remember. No champion's advantage.
Take a look at the elevation here. Dunne using all of his body weight to topple both Dream and Strong.
Roderick Strong backs into the corner.
Somewhat serendipitous, taking down Dream on the outside, but nothing. Lucky about that.
Step up enziguri by Dunne, and then he sends Dream crashing into Strong. German suplex by Dunne. Another German suplex, and this time he sends Strong crashing down a Dream. Back press, hooks the leg. And Pete Dunne almost becoming a two-time champion in NXT, as he was almost crowned NXT North American champ for the first time.
Take a look, this is why triple threat matches are so dangerous. Here, what would just be a normal German suplex. Strong trying to escape there, but landing on Velveteen Dream instead.
Just think about this. Dunne held the United Kingdom title for well over 650 days, the longest title reign in modern WWE history.
Incredible legacy as he attempts to add to it now. Brutal stomps. And instead now it's Dunne on the receiving end of strikes.
Dunne maybe breaking off too much.
Strong and Dream forging a temporary alliance as they... I told you! I lasted about as long as an Instagram story as these two now tee off on each other. And now it's a trifecta, a triangle of truculence here in T-Dot. Wow! A buffet of battering blows.
Both fingers injured.
I think Dunne was looking to short circle. Dream Valley driver by Dream. Olympic slam by Roderick Strong.
X-Plex lands in the center.
And all three of these NXT superstars feeling the brunt of this epic battle, Beth.
What a flurry of impacts.
A pivotal moment in the matchup.
Velveteen Dream defeated Johnny Gargano to become the North American champion.
Dream stirring. I'd like to see him go for a cover.
Adam Cole, the inaugural North American champion. He will defend the NXT title in a 2 out of 3 falls match in tonight's main event against the aforementioned Gargano. Is done. Just sent Velveteen Dream off the top. Velveteen Dream, the 4th North American champion in its short history. And what's Pete Dunne trying to attempt here? Oh, what a right hand by Velveteen Dream.
It did look like he was in a good spot for a superplex, but...
Oh, done with the fingers, the digits. Trying to again wishbone.
Forget bending it like Beckham. It's all about bending it like Dunne here at NXT TakeOver Toronto. And now all 3 superstars in a precarious position. Oh my God!
Crash landing for all 3 superstars.
Velveteen Dream grabbed immediately at his left shoulder, his left deltoid. Take a look here, Olympic slam off the middle. Oh!
And
Velveteen Dream had no choice but to follow.
Momentum
losing
dragging
his momentum,
him down.
absolutely.
Roderick Strong looking for his first singles championship in NXT. Velveteen Dream trying to stave off both Strong and Dunne, and of course Pete Dunne looking to return to NXT in North America and capture that North American title.
Oh, he's got caught for the triangle.
Triangle on Strong. Oh, look at the power of Roderick Strong. Drops Dunne's back on his right knee, and Roderick Strong now with the double underhook. Oh, again looking for the Tiger Bomb, but it was Dunne transitioning into another triangle attempt.
Again, though, I don't think has full execution of the triangle. No, that's why Strong easily able to get to the ropes.
Such great body awareness by Dunne, and he's going for the fingers again.
Wait a second, in the back of your screen.
Velveteen Dream looking to go coast to coast with the elbow drop, and the elbow finds the target. Pete Dunne's sternum. Unbelievable athleticism by the Velveteen Dream.
Look at the distance covered. Coast to coast. And that elbow landed hard right in the center of Pete Dunne's sternum.
From a different angle, you get an idea, perhaps, of the momentum and the impact of that elbow.
Velveteen Dream looking to be a bigger boss than Rick Ross, and every day he's hustling. All 3 of these superstars, all about the hustle, and Strong all about the explosive knee strikes.
Strong with the advantage. Dunne and Dream are out on their feet. Pow, pow.
Oh, wow.
And again.
Incredible.
Oh.
The pain train of Roderick Strong. Spiking Velveteen Dream in the center of the ring.
Tiger driver on to Dream. What is
shoulders
this?
are down. What? Oh, Roderick Strong. Looking. Is he going to put both of them in the stronghold?
Hold on.
Is Roderick Strong?
Beautiful!
Another indelible NXT TakeOver moment, courtesy of Roderick Strong.
Throws and a tap. Strong only needs one person to tap out. Look at Velveteen Dream with more torque on his lower back. But no, Strong just couldn't hold on.
How much damage was done having 2 sets of legs entangled in one another?
Interesting
How painful.
idea from Strong. Could have elected to try to put the stronghold on just one opponent. He had to know if he'd have done that, the other opponent would have broken up the hold.
He knows he's on the biggest stage in the black and gold brand TakeOver, and he wants to take over the NXT North American title. But Pete Dunne now secures his digits. Oh, super kick by Dream sent Strong into Dunne. Oh, wow, and Velveteen Dream saying, hey, Roderick Strong, anything you can do. Oh, I thought he was trying to do it better, but couldn't carry
Dunne's
the weight.
got the fingers.
Again.
Oh, what a knee! What a knee!
Make a wish.
Well, we know what Pete Dunne's wish is.
Oh, this is hard to watch.
NXT North American Championships. Snap, crackle, pop.
Bitter end. Is this it?
Pete Dunne with the
look
cover.
at the dream.
Pete Dunne's got Roderick Strong covered the count. And, oh, wow, Velveteen Dream was able to short-circuit the referee's
No
count.
disqualifications in a triple threat match. Otherwise, the official could throw this.
And Dunne, Dream has drawn the ire of Pete Dunne.
See the disdain on his face. Oh! Just trying to hurt Dream at this point.
Pete Dunne.
Quick transition, figure four-ing the legs.
Like an Indian deathlock in the late great Harley Race, became a two-time NWA World Champion here in Toronto, beating Terry Funk. But Pete Dunne almost, wow, just stomping Velveteen Dream.
A gritty, angry, sadistic look on the face.
Strong avoids a kick and delivers a ferocious forearm smash, and another one to the visage of Pete Dunne. Elbows aplenty. Pando, whoa, Strong able to counter. And Pete Dunne landing on his feet, following that German suplex, and what a kick to the side of Strong's face.
All the way through. Oh, deep Boston Crab.
The Strong
hold.
And now making it the Strong hold, the elevated Boston Crab, and again Velveteen Dream looking to shatter the dreams of Roderick Strong. Great Valley driver on Dunne. Velveteen Dream. Oh, here comes Strong. Sends Dream over the top rope.
This is it. This is Strong's opportunity.
Strong on the cusp of becoming NXT North American Champion. End of heartache. Will it be the end of Strong? Singles heartache. No. Velveteen Dream comes in. Velveteen Dream retains the North American title.
Here's your winner, and still the NXT North American Champion, the Velveteen Dream!
What a matchup! The NXT Universe on their feet!
Beth, your husband Edge was called the ultimate opportunist. We saw Velveteen Dream make the most of that opportunity.
Dream certainly did, and he absolutely made a statement tonight. What a performance.
Unbelievable match.
Canada's really proud of Dream tonight.
And yes, he is. The adopted son, sporting the colors of the Maple Leaf Nation.
There it was late on in the match. Dream Valley driver, look what Strong did. Tried to come in here and beat Pete Dunne when he was weakened. But Velveteen Dream, off your screen here, had gone to the opposite corner. Came over with the drop off the top, here from a different angle.
We saw Velveteen Dream pull out all the stops, and in the end was able to snatch the North American title from the jaws of defeat. And in keeping with his Canadian mantra, his catchphrase is, most over there is, most over there was, most over there ever will be. Maybe a little too inside baseball, but he treated his challengers like Vladimir Guerrero of the Blue Jays treated the baseball in the Home Run Derby. And Dream hits a home run here at TakeOver Toronto. On a night where we bring you 4 NXT Championship matches from Toronto, we pay tribute to the Toronto Raptors, winning their first ever NBA championship. And thus far tonight has indeed been a SummerSlam weekend slam dunk.
Well, talking of winning, and we take a look at the NXT champion, Adam Cole. Will he win tonight and retain the NXT championship? Or will Johnny Wrestling take the most prestigious title in the black and gold brand?
And shifting gears, the head baddie in charge. Mia Yim was here to remind the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler of where she came from by taking away her precious gold. Meanwhile, Baszler has promised to send Yim to the back of the line by putting her to sleep. This deeply personal grudge will come to a head right here tonight at TakeOver 26.
I grew up in SoCal near LA. It was a war zone right outside my house. I had to be standing on my own 2 feet since day one.
I be in it all night, I be in it all day. Tango, ombre, eat verses like they Andres. Never been an outcast, I ain't dissing, I'm not Andre.
Wrestling was an escape. I was born to fight. This is just gonna be the beginning. Because of the fans, because of their support, they're the reasons why I'm here. And I'll be damned to let them down. My motivation to become NXT Women's Champion is to show these people that it's possible, even when everything is against you.
She's got a great story. Pulled herself up from the streets, came from nothing. It's gonna take a little more than a great story to impress me. When you're in the ring across from me, story always ends the same. Tap.
She is dangerous, ruthless, malicious,
Nap.
disagreeable, calculating,
merciless.
Snap.
The first ever two-time NXT Women's Champion.
This division is more talented than it's ever been, and I'm the champion. I got hired on this company based on what I achieved. She got hired because a bunch of fans chanted her name. Has she earned a title shot? She hasn't even earned her job here.
Shayna's only been dominant because she had these 2 bitches behind her back. Has she ever won anything on her own?
I'm not just the champion, I'm the feared champion.
It's always been Shayna +2. That's why I took out her 2 lackeys.
She attacks them from behind and injures them? Mia Yim doesn't even deserve a title shot. She deserves a prison sentence.
What's it like to know that you ain't the baddest woman in NXT anymore?
At TakeOver Toronto, I will put her and her street trash fantasies to sleep.
At TakeOver Toronto, she's gonna be looking across the ring, no friends, no allies, and see someone that doesn't fear her.
She doesn't compare to me, and she surely hasn't achieved the things that I have.
The NXT Women's Championship is coming to the HBIC.
This is my championship. This
is my division.
Like Nas stated back in the day, street dreams are made of this, and Mia Yim is indeed bringing the streets to this NXT Women's Championship match.
Like an uprising from the streets, ready to storm the castle of an oppressive overlord. Mia Yim, as we just saw, has taken some drastic measures to give herself the best opportunity against the dominant incumbent, taking out Baszler's running mates, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke.
And the head baddie in charge taking a page out of the Boondocks playbook, Beth, when she told Baszler game recognizes game, and the NXT Women's Champ is looking unfamiliar. One thing you can say about Mia Yim, she is not afraid of the only two-time Women's Champion in NXT history.
It'll be really interesting to see if Mia Yim's been able to get into Shayna Baszler's head. You know, Shayna's used to having the support to being flanked by Jessamine and Marina. And now she's coming out here all by herself, knowing that Mia's going to be bringing the fight. One thing Mia had said is, I'm bringing a fight you can't train for. If we could say anything about Shayna Baszler, she's an elite athlete. But Mia Yim has something that maybe Shayna isn't prepared to bring.
Well, incensed over Yim's recent out-of-ring strikes against Marina Shafir and Jessamyn Duke, Baszler glorious he accepted Yim's standing challenge for this title bout. And Nigel, Baszler said she is going to put Yim to sleep.
Baszler is certainly very capable of doing just that. The Kirifuda clutch. If she gets it on Yim, she retains the title.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT Women's Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Fontana, California, Mia Yim. And her opponent from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler.
And a dominant champion at that, etching out a dominant reign.
Absolutely, Nigel, but I have to say one thing about Mia Yim that I know for certain: she will not be intimidated by Shayna Baszler.
NXT Women's Championship up for grabs. Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades. Will she remain queen tonight, as Mia Yim, the head baddie in charge, has had to overcome so many trials and tribulations in order to make this and the #1 trend worldwide. Are you surprised, Nigel?
But I'm absolutely not. The world is watching tonight.
And Mia Yim's entire family, for the first time ever, here in Toronto tonight to watch the most important, the biggest match of her career this month, celebrating her 10-year anniversary in sports entertainment.
Absolutely, Beth. And you saw early on Shayna going for a submission hold and Shayna just snatching her ear.
13,745, kicking off SummerSlam weekend here at TakeOver.
Again, an awkward exchange there.
We're seeing a little difference in style here.
Perhaps this is the fight that Yim told Baszler she couldn't prepare for.
Well, Baszler, decorated mixed martial artist, catch wrestling specialist.
Oh.
And now looking for an early submission.
Yim's got her, she's got her hand. Baszler.
Oh, Yim fish hooking Baszler. And yet Baszler continues to look for that Jujigatami. Oh, wow, Yim just reaching for a handful of follicles as well.
Whatever it takes. I mean, I think, Beth, to your point, this is Yim doing whatever it takes, will not be intimidated.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you're coming into a matchup and you know that you're facing somebody that's a technician, a submission specialist, you're going to go to your wheelhouse, to what works for you.
Deep arm drag by Mia Yim, catching the champion by surprise.
You better be careful, though, because you do not want to get disqualified. And if she continues to try to break the rules like this, the official could throw it out.
Baszler back up to her feet. Sends Yim for the ride, but Yim, beautiful runner.
I mean, take a look at Shayna's body language, too. It looks like Yim might be in her head a little bit and might have her foot in her face.
Yim, a bona fide hip-hop head. Oh, the cannonball, quoting Immortal Technique, saying a dance with the devil might last you forever.
Yim's put Baszler on the run.
Oh, but Baszler catches Mia Yim. As Yim was looking for that high-risk maneuver, looking for the tope suicida.
Baszler is always dangerous in every situation. She's been such a dominant champion.
Oh, shoulder first into that unforgiving staircase. And Mia Yim taking the fight to the NXT Women's Champion.
Can't apply a submission if you can't use your arm.
Oh, wow. Mia Yim utilizing all of the real estate here in Toronto.
Taking her time, Yim reveling in it, enjoying this.
Yim,
must
of
have
course.
that arm trapped
The Baszler's
tight.
stuck.
Oh! Driving the stairs into that pinned arm. Mia Yim, of course, building momentum with those back-to-back victories over former NXT Women's title challenger Bianca Belair. and then taking out members of the Horsewomen and drawing the ire and attention of the NXT Women's Champion and Shayna Baszler in a compromised position.
Baszler called Yim a street rat. Said she was unprofessional. Oh! But look, the damage done.
Baszler still nursing that arm.
I believe it's the right arm and right elbow of Shayna Baszler that was trapped between the ring steps, and it's definitely hurt because you can see normally Baszler is very aggressive. She took a long time to follow up.
Step up knee there, and Baszler nursing that right arm and now using her educated feet to put Mia Yim in harm's way.
Baszler's realized quickly that trying to throw a punch hurts.
Yim on the receiving end of the wrath of the submission magician. And there's a big boot as she goes for the cover now. Hooks both legs for a 2 count. Baszler vowed to make short work of Mia Yim, and that has definitely not been the case, Nigel.
Oh, and with more damage to the right arm of Shayna Baszler, could be a very long night for the Queen of Spades.
We talk about Baszler's background in MMA, but really her catch wrestling is what separates her. Training under the likes of former UFC heavyweight champion Josh Barnett, under the learning tree of the likes of Billy Robinson, a lineage that goes back to no less than the god of wrestling, Karl Gotch.
Baszler struggling to use that right arm. What are we gonna see here?
Oh, Baszler able to stomp that left arm of Mia Yim.
Damage done to the left arm of Mia Yim now. Take a look here at the angle. We've seen Baszler take out a number of superstars with this exact move. Putting torque on the on the elbow. Double wrist lock takeover.
Nice key lock here.
Certainly would have learned that from Billy Robinson.
Baszler and Yim first met in the semifinals of the inaugural Mae Young Classic. Of course, Baszler went to the final, losing to Kairi Sane, but Mia Yim in the second Mae Young Classic really earning high praise, and now in the clutches of Baszler.
Oh no, look at that. Threw a forearm with the right arm without thinking about it.
Oh, what a kick by Baszler. Goes for the cover. Back press hooks a leg, and Yim able to power out, but it was Yim's performance in that second Mae Young Classic that made the NXT Universe clamor for her to be signed. She finally realized her dream of making it to NXT, and now here she is, Beth. 3 count or a submission away from becoming NXT Women's Champion, but she's in trouble here.
I was live there for that moment. Yim certainly has captured the hearts of the NXT Universe, but I know it would mean nothing more. It would mean so much to her in this moment to defeat Shayna Baszler and become the NXT Women's Champion.
Yim's definitely hurt. Look at the way she's turned her body, turning that left arm away from the submission magician. That's a smart move because Yim has to know that's her weakness with a good arm. Oh, awkward. Shades of Volk Han with the standing arm bar. Oh, look at the torque. The arm is not supposed to bend like that. I would not surprise me to see a tap here. The official needs to go around, check with Yim. Again,
pulling the hair.
Again, a handful of hair.
Doing whatever it takes against one of the most sadistic competitors in NXT, and there's a display of what Shayna Baszler's capable of, even at less than 100%.
Again, we're getting an example there, a reflex action from Shayna Baszler.
Covered by Baszler, hooks a leg, Yim able to kick out.
Baszler got to think about changing her game plan now. To try that Kirifuda clutch with the injured right arm. Going to be difficult to apply pressure. Perhaps think of a submission with the legs instead.
Mia Yim mentioned that she would make this a street fight. She's pulling out, well, all kinds of stuff. But Baszler also utilizing underhanded tactics. That's been her MO throughout her tenure as the shoulders are down for 2.
Say what you will about Yim's tactics during this match, but they've been effective.
Oh, what a drop kick by Baszler.
That doesn't
Stops
make it
Yim
right.
in her tracks. Side press, hooks a leg, and Mia Yim again staying alive in this NXT Women's Championship.
At this juncture with both superstars with an injured arm, submissions are going to become a bigger factor in the match.
Baszler in the midst of her second reign as NXT Women's Champion. Hashtag Shayna 2 times.
Yim doing what she can to relieve the pressure.
Now the
Breaking on the
referee.
5 countdown.
Oh, wow, look at Yim gouging the eye, Yim!
Referee, you've got to start doing something about this.
Yim in desperation doing what she's got to do.
Kettle meet pot, Nigel.
Well, it doesn't matter what happened before this match. What's happening now is what's important. Backdrop driver lands. Time and again, Mia Yim has tried to break the rules to keep the momentum going.
Nigel, I would argue Shayna has too, and that's helped her retain the championship many, many times. Mia knew what she had to do to bring the fight in this match, and she's doing what she's got to do.
He knew she was overmatched in terms of submission, so yes, you're right.
Oh, lariat there by Mia Yim. Roundhouse kick drops the NXT Women's Champion. Remember Baszler saying that no matter how inspiring Yim's story may be, it can only end one of 3 ways. Tap, nap, or snap, but it's Mia Yim bringing it to the NXT Women's Champion.
Strike from Yim, who's known for her Taekwondo background. Clinch in the center, could be looking for knees.
Irish whip by Yim.
Oh! Belly to belly release suplex. Okay, indeed.
Baszler doing what she's got to do to take a little
Ed Batty in charge with a full head of steam. Tope Suicida. Yim wiping out Shayna Baszler.
She is fired up. Nice.
Tornado DDT by Mia Yim. She's going for the cover. Yim looking to become champion, but Baszler able to escape.
Mia Yim has got to take advantage of the injury to Baszler's right arm.
Oh, Baszler avoiding that kick by Yim, and Baszler follows up with a jumping knee.
That is why, a knee strike to the jaw. Yim is nearly out.
Yes, Baszler known for her submission game, but she is as nasty a striker as there is in NXT.
Not a lot of mustard behind that kick out from Mia Yim, who is definitely hurt. At this juncture, you would have to think that perhaps Baszler should just get full mount and strike, riding in strikes with the good arm. But instead electing to let Yim back to her feet.
Once again, Yim's strategy's been effective. Baszler has definitely been off of her game.
Couldn't get the suplex with a damaged right arm.
Oh, and Baszler crashing down on the turnbuckle face first. Mia Yim leapfrog. Looking for that tarantula.
Full extension. There's the official
referee.
Count.
Yep, referee counting to 5, and Yim cognizant of that fact.
Yim struggling to hold on, still shaking that arm too.
Baszler in a supine position. Mia Yim going all the way to the top. Baszler back on her feet. Kicks Yim. NXT Women's Championship hanging in the balance.
This match has certainly taken its toll on Mia Yim.
On both superstars, hard-hitting affair.
Oh, no.
Baszler can't go for the suplex attempt due to that injured right arm.
Yim struggling, doing everything she can to get out of this situation.
Hold on, what is this? No way!
An avalanche code blue, and Mia Yim that close to becoming NXT Women's Champion.
Mia Yim pausing for a second. Take a look here, making sure she had full contact. But look how she covered, just didn't get enough body weight across the shoulders of the champion, but you can't blame her. You can't blame either of these two superstars who have given absolutely everything.
And it's going to take everything and more, Beth, in order to determine a winner here. What a brutal, hard-hitting affair for the NXT Women's Championship as they got Shayna Baszler looking for that Kirifuda clutch.
Can she hang out with that right arm?
No. The damaged right arm was much easier
And
to
Mia
play off.
Yim having the presence of mind to target that injured arm. And breaks the Kirifuda clutch.
Using her own head to
And now
break the hold.
Will Yim be able to capitalize?
Maybe a little dose of Baszler's own medicine.
This is karma! This is karma! As Shayna Baszler on the receiving end of a big dose of her bad medicine. And now it's Yim looking for the armbar.
Trying for the armbar, but if there's anybody that knows how to keep this from being fully extended, it is the Baszler.
And Yim looking to submit the submission magician.
Oh, wait a second! Nearly fully extended!
Talk about adding insult
Yes.
to injury. If
Yes,
she were
yes,
able to
yes.
submit, oh, Kirifuda clutch! Kirifuda clutch!
You've got to get up pretty early to submit the submission magician.
Mia Yim has put up the fight of her life, and yet she still has more fight in her.
She does not have it locked in.
And again, Baszler breaking the grip of the Kirifuda clutch. Oh, wait a minute.
And now the legs, as I mentioned before, triangle with the legs. Oh, that's in deep. That is in deep. The
yes, that's made, and there's the tap. It's all about tap, nap, or snap for Shayna Baszler.
Here is your winner by submission, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler.
Mia Yim put up a hell of a fight, at times a hell of a street fight, but Shayna Baszler able to once again dig down deep and able to retain the NXT Women's Championship.
The submission magician. Forget about submission 101. That was a PhD in submission wrestling. Baszler injured the right arm earlier in the match. Had to try for a different submission, knowing there was no way she could submit Yim with the Kirifuda clutch. So went straight to the triangle. Take a look though, what a valiant effect here. Code blue off the top. The impact, but just couldn't get enough body weight across the shoulders of the champion. It's just enabled Baszler to slip out the back door. Karma indeed. Yim would continue the offense, focusing on the injured right arm. Finally getting the full extension, but Baszler was able to twist back into the Kirifuda clutch. But here it was, realizing there was no way she could get the submission. Instead, the triangle with the legs. Look how deep it is there. The thigh being pressured into the carotid artery. That is a submission wrestling professor.
That is a submission magician, and another challenger to her crown has just disappeared.
I want to issue a challenge. You use your influence to hold me down, to hold me back, to ensure that I would never reach the main event.
You weren't ready back then, Kofi.
I kept on grinding, I kept on pushing, I found the power of positivity.
And you're not ready now.
At SummerSlam, Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship.
This 11-year fairy tale you've been living comes to a screeching halt, courtesy of the RKO.
WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. Streaming on WWE Network. Watch anytime, on demand.
What a night we have for you. The excitement is pulsating throughout the WWE Universe. There is a big fight feel.
Every single person on their feet.
Cannot wait to see what happens.
NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, Saturday, August 31st, 2 Eastern, 7 Greenwich Mean Time. Streaming live on WWE Network.
What a night is going to be in 3 weeks' time, and there he is, the WWE United Kingdom champion Walter, stoic as ever. He will be defending that title against the very first WWE United Kingdom champion at NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. And there is that man, the likeable Tyler Bate, a smile on his face tonight. But come TakeOver Cardiff, a very different man that night. Who will leave Cardiff as the WWE United Kingdom champion?
Well, we look forward to that, and what a night it's been here in Toronto. We the North, we NXT TakeOver. Triple H, of course, standing by following this monumental event as usual with another exclusive interview coming your way immediately following NXT TakeOver Toronto. Facebook Live with the boss, Triple H, immediately following TakeOver Toronto.
And one of the matches that Triple H is certainly going to be talking about is our main event. The explosive rivalry between Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole comes to a head in their second 2 out of 3 falls NXT Championship match. This one with a twist. Each fall has a stipulation, and given what we saw earlier tonight, the third stipulation will be a demonic weapon-filled structure that will cement the legacy of the NXT Championship.
On the black and gold brand's biggest stage at TakeOver New York,
I will fight to make my dream come true.
tonight we will crown NXT's first Triple Crown winner.
Johnny Wrestling will finally become
From Ultimate Underdog
NXT
to NXT's top dog.
champion.
Oh, Gargano has him, the new NXT champion.
This was a long journey, but I stand here proudly, Johnny Champion.
It's Cole Gargano 2 for the NXT title.
This time, I'll be the one walking out as the new NXT champion.
We are in the throes of another barn burner of an NXT championship match. Adam Cole wants to fulfill his golden prophecy.
The NXT champion.
Last shot.
Gargano's done.
We have a new NXT champion.
The leader of the Undisputed Era did it all on his own.
Told you so.
Starting with this, we are going to remake the NXT universe into an undisputed image.
At TakeOver 25, my destiny became a reality because this NXT championship belongs to me, and there's not a single person on this planet, including Johnny Gargano, who's gonna stop me.
For the past few weeks, I've been traveling all across the globe on the Bay Championship Tour.
NXT, the brand, needs a superstar like Adam Cole. A rock star like Adam Cole.
I'm here to tell each and every one of you that Johnny Gargano is full of crap. Just give up.
I'm ready to take on anybody, anytime, anywhere. I'm ready to put my NXT championship on the line. Twan Tucker, come on down! And don't worry, I'm alone. There's no Undisputed Era.
That's too bad, because I didn't come alone.
Here we go! Cole trying to humiliate Gargano in Gargano's hometown of Cleveland. Johnny Gargano is bringing the fight to the new NXT champion.
TakeOver Toronto. It will be Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Johnny Gargano gets to pick one of the stipulations, Adam Cole gets to pick the other. And if this does go to a third fall, I will pick the other stipulation.
The reason I chose a one-on-one wrestling match is quite simple. First matchup, 2 out of 3 falls. I pinned Johnny's shoulders to the mat. TakeOver 25, I pinned Johnny Gargano once again.
I picked a street fight, because I want to take away all the variables. Do whatever you want, because I'm going to be prepared this time. I'm going to do whatever it takes just to beat the hell out of you.
This rivalry has just been turned up to 11.
Cole versus Gargano 3.
Toronto is one of the best pure wrestling towns in the world, and they're definitely going to appreciate me beating the hell out of you all over their city.
I will go down as the greatest NXT champion that's ever lived, and I will prove that at TakeOver Toronto.
I'm taking Adam Cole to hell.
I'm coming back
with the NXT Championship.
Here we go!
Johnny Gargano has proven to be a marvel on the mat in Johnny Wrestling full Iron Man mode. And he's hoping, though, for a stark difference, Nigel, in the outcome of his endgame. He is seeking to join Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura as two-time NXT champions.
A huge task for Johnny Wrestling. What lays ahead, as we just heard. 2 out of 3 falls match. Gargano chooses one stipulation, Cole the other. And William Regal, if needed, as you mentioned, Beth, will be that 3rd stipulation. And if you were watching the pre-show earlier tonight, that demonic structure, the steel cage full of weapons, dare say William Regal didn't want that to happen. He wanted to try to inspire Gargano and Cole to end this in 2 straight
Well,
wins.
we've got to get there first, as we have Johnny Gargano picking a street fight, Adam Cole picking a classic one-on-one wrestling match. Beth, he wants to out-wrestle Johnny Wrestling, but yes, if we get to that 3rd and final fall, hell is coming to Toronto. NXT champion making Johnny Gargano wait. Slipknot provides the soundtrack to NXT's weekly offering on the WWE Network. The band's microphone feed Corey Taylor a passenger on the Adam Cole train. Taylor got to pose with the NXT Championship at the UK's Download Festival. Cole hoping to produce a non-fest on Gargano's forehead. And boy, the Cole, that baby champion celebration tour has not sat well with Johnny Gargano and his family.
Absolutely not. Hold on a second. Wait for it. Boom indeed. And it was Adam Cole who dropped the boom on Johnny Gargano, taking that NXT title away from Gargano in Gargano's 1st title defense.
Their first 2 NXT meetings have been instant classics. 2 of the greatest matches, not only in NXT, but in WWE history. And they are raring to get started in this 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT title.
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, Johnny Gargano. And his opponent, representing the Undisputed Era, he is the NXT champion, Adam Cole!
Well, a polarized NXT universe here in Toronto.
NXT champion being feted by the fans here in Toronto. Again, the NXT title up for grabs in another 2 out of 3 falls match, but this one with a twist, Beth.
Absolutely, and Johnny Gargano is channeling his inner Wolverine in this moment. Looking vicious. Absolutely.
Hashtag NXT Championship. That's what it's all about here tonight.
And remember, in the first fall of their first 2 out of 3 falls matchup, Adam Cole beat Johnny Gargano before Gargano reeled off 2 consecutive wins to become the first NXT Triple Crown champion. But now the champion is Adam Cole after another magnum opus at TakeOver 25.
I talked to Adam Cole before this match, and he said that he wants to cement his legacy in NXT as the greatest, and to do that, he needs to beat Mr. NXT one last time.
And Nigel, our first fall, a classic wrestling match, a catch-as-catch-can clinic, if you will, and usually that should benefit Johnny Gargano. Johnny Wrestling showing that early, but what do you think about Adam Cole going for this particular stipulation?
Well, as we heard, you know, in the last 2 times that these 2 superstars have faced off, Cole won the first fall in a classic wrestling match, so it makes perfect sense for Cole to choose that for his stipulation. Cole winning the coin toss to get the first stipulation in this match.
NXT champion says this Adam Cole can't be stopped. Unfortunately, it's been a tough night for the Undisputed Era.
Boy, has it ever. Adam Cole having to lead by example yet again.
Again, Johnny Gargano gets bowled over by the champ, the Panama City Playboy. Full effect here early, leapfrog by Gargano. Standing switch by Johnny Wrestling. Looking for that O'Connor roll.
Speaking to your point, Nigel, the pressure lays on Adam Cole in this moment because Undisputed Era could possibly be going home with no gold.
Gargano avoiding that last shot, and then Cole avoiding the Gargano escape, and they've, of course, these guys know each other pretty well. Their rivalry dating back a decade. And 2 superstars who revere the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, looking to tune up some sweet chin music on each other.
Very evenly matched up in all assets. Cole may be a couple of inches taller than Gargano. Gargano a few more years experience, perhaps.
Adam Cole grew up watching Bruce Lee movies with his dad. Of course, Bruce Lee quoting, saying showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Adam Cole definitely showing off with his Bay Championship Celebration Tour.
That Cole looking for the Panama Sunrise.
Of course, Johnny Gargano can flow like water, and there, back elbow to Cole.
Oh! Gargano trying the exact same thing.
Gargano with that runner on Cole, and the clothesline sends the champion over the top rope as Johnny Gargano drop kick through the ropes on Cole. And Nigel, talk to the legacy that Johnny Gargano is building, the consecutive amazing matchups that he has put together against Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, the most brutal rivalry in NXT history.
Gargano has been christened Johnny Takeover for that exact reason.
He's appeared in more NXT TakeOver main events, more NXT TakeOver events, period, Beth.
That's why they call him Mr. NXT.
Early in this matchup, we're seeing how both of these superstars have each other scouted.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
They have done their homework. They have been through 2 titanic tussles, and they have definitely done their homework.
Nasty.
Gargano driving Adam Cole's knee, the knee he uses for that last shot.
We saw this at TakeOver 25, both competitors truly targeting a body part, really dismantling one another, making it difficult to apply a hold.
Johnny Gargano saying he was a chubby, shy, socially awkward kid who didn't have a lot of friends. And not making friends at all with Adam Cole. He had respect for Adam Cole before Cole went to his hometown of Cleveland.
Of course, Johnny Gargano is an inspiration to a lot of chubby, antisocial kids, and we saw a couple of those in that training class that he gave.
Yeah, Gargano representing the Twan Tuckers of the world. Said he had no idea where he fit in this world until he discovered wrestling. And of course became Johnny Wrestling and showcasing that acumen here against Adam Cole. And this the first of what could be 3 falls to determine an NXT champion.
Well, what's really interesting in this moment is this is supposed to be Cole's home turf.
Submission attempt here, version of the Indian Deathlock.
A classic old school wrestling match is supposed to be Cole's advantage, but it's looking like Gargano has got the advantage in this moment.
Well, he created that advantage
in this first fall, so Cole has to, when he goes for the rope, Gargano had to break the hold again.
1, 2, 3.
There is a champion's advantage in this first fall, Nigel.
Absolutely. Can't lose. Well, I mean, he can lose the fall by a pinfall submission.
Very methodical work by Johnny Gargano.
And a hyper-aggressive Johnny Gargano. Again, remember, he picked a street fight for his fall because he's just frankly fed up with Adam Cole's attitude, the way that Adam Cole represents himself as NXT champion. Oh, wow. What impact there by Johnny Gargano.
Now Gargano's looking for retribution.
Oh, but Adam Cole again, who has timing, his timing second to none in the world of sports entertainment.
Looked like Gargano had him hooked for the DDT.
Oh, wheelbarrow, pick up by Gargano. Oh, and Adam Cole sends Johnny Gargano crashing to the corner of the apron, back first. Oh, what devastating impact.
Almost irony to the offense there, the same part of the ring that was damaged earlier.
Adam Cole limping.
Go back to action, yes, Cole still limping from the damage done to his right knee earlier, but now Gargano screaming out in pain for the same reason, his lower back driven into the apron.
Wow! Neckbreaker by Adam Cole, the inaugural NXT North American champion, who also represented the Undisputed Era in a tag team title match. In fact, winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, spelling an injured Bobby Fish with Kyle O'Reilly the night Roderick Strong joined the Undisputed Era. And now, of course, Adam Cole in his first reign as the king of NXT.
Oh, nasty little punch to the injured knee from Johnny Gargano. Again looks for the neck breaker, yes.
You can hear the NXT Universe expressing...
Cole goes for the cover, back press.
Expressing their opinion.
Johnny, will it be a rude awakening if Cole is able to get this first fall?
Johnny, I got it. Give it up, Johnny.
Figure 4 scissors across the neck.
Johnny, give it up.
Cole imploring Johnny Gargano to capitulate. I doubt very much that is going to happen. Hangman's neckbreaker by Adam Cole. Shoulders down as Gargano momentarily bridges up.
Give it up, Johnny.
The first of 4 consecutive nights in what is sports entertainment's crown jewels, the city of Toronto. SummerSlam comes your way tomorrow night. Raw Monday, SmackDown Live Tuesday, but tonight it's all about TakeOver. It's all about the NXT Championship in this rubber match in combat sports and sports entertainment history, littered with so many memorable trilogies.
Not sure if you could see there for a second. Johnny Gargano was trying to pull down the knee pad to expose the injured knee of Adam Cole. Has to do anything he can to get an advantage right now. Take a look at the face of Johnny Gargano. A lot of pressure being applied there.
Oh, he's struggling to breathe.
Hard to believe, already 30 years since one of the most classic trilogies involving Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. And here we are in the midst of another classic, the reversal by Johnny Gargano, the ankle lock on Adam Cole. Is Cole gonna tap? No, he escapes and sends Gargano crashing face first into the turnbuckle.
Ankle lock on the bad knee of Adam Cole. But wait a second, is Cole gonna try this?
Cole on that injured leg, and he lands.
He is.
And he is nursing that right leg as Johnny Gargano, overhead belly to belly, suplex sends Cole crashing into the corner.
Sent his injured leg crashing into the corner as well.
And remember, this is the first fall, a classic wrestling match as chosen by the NXT champion Adam Cole. The second fall, the rules go out the window. Johnny Gargano chooses a street fight.
Gargano trying to shake off the effects of the damage done earlier on his neck.
These two teeing off on each other in the center of the ring.
Certainly leaving it all in the ring here.
You got to remember, these two have been in a 2 out of 3 falls match with each other. They know the stamina it takes to come out with a victory.
Oh! Knife edge chop by Gargano in the corner. Reversal on the Irish whip. Oh! Sternum first into the corner. Roll up and a boot to the face. A kick by Johnny Gargano's fired up and firing up the NXT universe.
Such quick body awareness.
Canada known for its hospitality. Well, some of the crowd not exactly showing that hospitality to Johnny Wrestling. He was looking for that slingshot spear, countered by Cole.
He caught the knee.
Driving the shoulders in, hooking the legs. Oh! Gargano again hooking the bad leg of Adam Cole. Hooking up almost that fisherman suplex, but dropping him instead.
Yeah, fisherman's driver.
That corkscrew position, Adam Cole landed awkwardly.
This really is a battle of two almost antithetical superstars. Gargano believes in pursuing your dreams, that if anybody has a dream and they don't give up, they can make it. Adam Cole said, that's a lie. Don't waste your time.
Well, the third meeting, and speaking of threes in life, you can count on death, taxes, and Johnny Gargano never giving up on his dream as Gargano again attacking the right knee of Adam Cole.
Take a look here, the creativity.
Bigger forward by Johnny Gargano in the center of the ring. Speaking of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And for that matter, the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers, while we're at it, Nigel.
Two legendary superstars who won many matches and world titles cover.
You have to wonder, does Adam Cole tap to try to save himself?
It's an interesting point, isn't it? Yes, indeed. No, doesn't need to.
And you wonder, the marathon continues here in this first fall.
Cole got to keep that injured right leg away from Johnny Gargano as best he can, but no, Gargano doggedly gets straight back on the injured body part.
Cole unloading with some right hands, back elbow, well placed by Adam Cole.
These two know each other so well.
Fireman's carry by Cole. Back elbows now by Johnny Gargano, back on his feet. Misses with the enziguri. Again, the wheelbarrow. Suplex by Cole. Bridge, shoulders down for a 2.
Wow.
So close.
My goodness,
Cole
what
immediately
technique.
grabs at the injured right knee, but that speaks to his determination, foregoing the pain to be able to drive with his hips. Take a look here. Beautiful execution, but what I want to draw attention to here is the way that Cole drives with both legs, even the injured right knee, forcing himself through the pain. That is the heart of a champion.
Cole became hooked on sports entertainment when he saw Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock go at it at WrestleMania X7. Stone Cold Steve Austin calls Cole hellacious inside the ring and on the microphone, and yet Cole in a hellacious battle here with Johnny Gargano. Oh, it's a carry by Cole. Kick from Gargano. A cavalcade of kicks here now in this championship match. Oh, look, I thought he was going for that Panama Sunrise.
Instead, Sunset Driver!
Oh, Sunset Driver by Gargano!
Oh!
Also known as the Amori Driver.
The NXT Universe was on their feet. I think they were certain that we had our first pinfall.
Well, that wasn't Amore. For Johnny Gargano with Cole kicking out the back door.
NXT Universe exhorting both superstars. And you think about the time that these two have spent, the intense moments that they have shared in an NXT ring, authoring another brilliant chapter here tonight in this legendary rivalry.
Think about the damage that's been done in this match, and we haven't even had a fall yet. They've already been through a war.
This is going to be a long night.
Oh,
Both of these superstars.
Oh, Adam Cole looking for that avalanche Panama Sunrise.
Gargano's lifting him.
Oh, Gargano might be looking for an oh, wait. Oh, and again, Cole can't carry his weight. Can't carry his weight. Oh, the timing. Into that code breaker, and now Adam Cole looking for the, Cole.
Driver.
Yes, into the, wow, for 2.5. I thought he was going for the Ushigoroshi, Nigel, but in mid-move.
Well, that speaks to the creativity of the champion. If you thought he was going for it, so did Johnny Gargano. And if Gargano was preparing for that, he got hit with something completely different.
If there's one thing that Adam Cole is not, Beth, it's predictable.
Absolutely.
Cole got to start thinking long game right now.
Adam Cole saying that a guy like Gargano was never meant to be NXT champion. Cole says he was born to be the NXT champion.
It's two different worldviews about champions. Do you get there because it's a God-given genetic ability, or is it because you work hard? I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
And one thing's for sure, Johnny Gargano possesses an extraterrestrial heart, and it's on display here as they again collide in the center of the ring.
How much are these guys in each other's heads, literally making the same thoughts and the same movements at the same time?
Certainly an example of Gordon Solie's human game of chess. Thinking 2 to 3 moves in advance.
You're going to start using the term souffle now as well, as we've got Adam Cole on the outside. Oh, and again, the timing of Adam Cole catching Johnny Gargano in the head with that kick.
Forget about souffle, turning Gargano's face into a souffle. And worse.
Again, that wheelbarrow. Oh, but the counter by Johnny Gargano, driving Cole face first into the barricade. Can Gargano capitalize, maximize his opportunity? Thunderstruck DDT, and he goes for the cover. Johnny Gargano almost drew first blood. Oh, kick by Gargano.
Brutal offense from Johnny Gargano now.
Again, this is still the football, and again, the timing of Adam Cole, impeccable. Ushigoroshi by the NXT champion. Is he going to win the first fall? No!
A determined, if a little frustrated look on the face of the NXT champion.
Cole and Gargano in this, their NXT rubber match, seeking to rubber stamp their standing as the black and gold brand's gold standard.
Cole and Gargano, obviously, arguably, the two of the greatest athletes of their generation.
2, 3. Of course, former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa rehabilitating following neck surgery. You know, he's watching with feasted interest.
Well, the official giving Cole a good talking to. Doesn't want to break that 5 count.
Adam Cole eyeing something here at ringside, making his way over to the timekeeper's area. And he is, Adam Cole's got a
What is Cole doing now?
Adam Cole's the one who wanted a one-on-one wrestling match. What the hell's he doing? Even the referee's asking him, you can't bring a chair into the ring.
You can't use a chair.
Well, Adam Cole. Oh, wow. Kicking Gargano into the Garden of Good and Evil.
First fall.
And Gargano able to kick out.
Absolutely despicable move on the part of Adam Cole.
Oh, it was fun for Mia Yim to break some rules. When the shoe's on the other foot. Look at Cole bringing the chair in, distracting the official, and then lowering the boom.
Nigel, as a man, how can you condone that maneuver?
You gotta call it whatever way you see it. Doing what it takes to hold on to that NXT Championship.
Well, the whole idea was that the referee wouldn't see it.
And he
when
didn't.
Johnny Gargano goes high, Adam Cole goes low with the low blow, and the NXT champion now mocking Gargano. Referee warning Cole he'll be disqualified if he uses the chair.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm the referee. Pay attention.
Well, he wasn't paying attention. He walked into a super kick from Johnny Gargano.
Oh, what's
who now
Gargano
has the
doing?
chair.
Can't use it. It's a right. I'll disqualify you.
Gargano can't use the chair either. He'll be disqualified. Oh, Johnny Gargano!
What are you doing?
Why would he do that?
The winner of the first fall via disqualification, Adam Cole.
Johnny Gargano taking it in stride and now attacking Adam Cole. And now it's going to be a street fight. So now Gargano with the advantage, but he's down 1-0 in this 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT title.
But maybe there was some method to his madness.
The second fall is a street fight where anything goes.
Gargano perhaps trying to create an advantage that Cole couldn't come back from.
Adam Cole realizes
Cole
that
scared.
Johnny Gargano's got the weapon. And Gargano just nailed Cole with the chair. Tope Suicida!
Gargano foregoing the first fall, going one fall down, and one can only surmise he either lost his mind or he's got a game plan.
And now they could take this fight to Hamilton or Scarborough or Kitchener. It's a street fight, anything goes. Hey, they could go to Orangeville, Beth.
They absolutely could.
Unbelievable now as Johnny Gargano, despite being down 1-0, Nigel, he has the upper hand in this street fight now.
In every way except for the score. But perhaps here's an idea. The last time in the 2 out of 3 falls match, Gargano came back from the 1-0 deficit. Do you think some way Gargano wants to do it again, believes he can do it again?
He is giving the NXT Universe an up-close and personal look at this bitter rivalry.
If there's one thing Johnny Gargano's great at, it's doing the impossible.
And he looks to be doing that again. Gargano surveying the landscape. Gargano comes down on the NXT champion with a double axe handle. Johnny Gargano, well, there's a selfie.
You are making a mistake if you turn your back on Adam Cole.
A selfie that will last a lifetime. But Johnny Gargano taking Adam Cole all over the arena here in Toronto. 13,745 on hand for TakeOver. Cole valiantly fighting back. Uncorks a right hand to the challenger. Cole looking to win 2 straight falls to retain the title. He just ate the super kick.
There were people who questioned Johnny Gargano when he chose the second stipulation.
Remember, pinfalls anywhere.
Absolutely, that's a good point. Gargano clearly wanting to inflict more punishment.
Street fight, but again, just been informed actually, Nigel, that pinfalls are submissions in the ring, so anything goes. But oh, wow! Adam Cole crashing.
And the damage can certainly be done anywhere in the arena. Johnny Gargano said that he picked a street fight because he doesn't just want to beat Adam Cole, he wants to beat the hell out of him.
And in this street fight, every seat in this arena could be a ringside seat as they're getting, oh my God, Johnny Gargano just sent Adam Cole through the barricade. Oh my God.
Absolute destruction. Take a look here. Driving Cole through the barricade.
Johnny Gargano going for broke, and he's lucky he didn't break anything. Wiping out the NXT champion.
We'll see if that self-sacrifice is going to pay off with a pinfall.
Johnny Gargano just shouted, "Mamma Mia!" And I believe he is about to try to author a moment that would be worthy of such an utterance, Nigel. Adam Cole barely stirring. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. Gargano has Adam Cole on our broadcast table.
Bad intentions.
Oh my God, double underhook.
Butterfly, no. Look at Cole dropping his hips, preventing the suplex attack. Oh!
Adam Cole raking the
Nasty.
eyes. All legal in this street fight. Adam Cole raking the eyes of the challenger. And now it's Adam Cole with the upper hand. Double underhook. Adam Cole looking to lift up the challenger. Holy bleep indeed! Johnny Gargano wiping out the NXT champion at ringside, putting him through the Spanish announcer's table.
Absolute chaos at ringside.
And in any language, Johnny Gargano with a Cheshire Cat smile. He feels he's on the cusp of evening this 2 out of 3 falls match after getting disqualified in the first fall.
Now finally has Cole back in the ring where he can pin or submit the NXT champion.
Is he shaking his head no?
No, you're right, Beth. He's not done with the he's not done with the weapons.
There is a sadistic side to Johnny Wrestling.
When you think of everything that Johnny Gargano has had to endure, not only here in NXT, but throughout his life, always told no, saying he would never make it, too small. And yet you cannot question the size of his heart.
Absolutely not.
Oh, wow.
There is a dark side to Johnny Wrestling.
Wait, a second table.
Gargano setting the table for utter destruction.
Remember, it was last summer that Johnny Wrestling attacked Aleister Black. This man is no choir boy.
Johnny Tables is the chant from the NXT Universe in Toronto. Johnny wants to leave Toronto once again. Johnny champion.
Johnny may be no choir boy.
Oh, wow.
Adam Cole made this personal.
Shining Wizard by Cole. Adam Cole. Oh my God. Ushigoroshi, the cover. Adam Cole looking to retain the NXT title. He came oh so close, Beth.
How much carnage have we witnessed in this match? How are these men even standing?
How much more carnage are we going to witness? That's the question. Adam Cole now in this street fight making use of all the objects of plunder. The chair wedging it into the corner.
Remember, all Cole has to do is pin Johnny Gargano one more time.
And if I was Adam Cole, I would give everything of my body and soul to do that.
Oh, and you know Johnny Gargano will have to do the same, blocking that attack. Gargano, the southpaw, now reining in those left hands. Has Cole over his shoulders, looking for snake eyes, blocks the kick. Oh, and Cole goes downstairs, changing the trajectory of his attack.
But Cole spies the chair.
Hold on.
Oh, and there's the long dart. Cole face first into that unforgiving steel chair. Gargano escape. Gargano escape.
Oh,
Gargano equals the match. One fall of pace. One fall of pace.
No.
Johnny Gargano
of the second fall is Johnny Gargano.
Oh my God, it just dawned on me, Nigel.
What happens now?
We know that this means NXT GM William Regal, who may have mellowed in his older age, but
This
still one of the most
NXT
devious minds in the
Championship
business.
match will now go into a third and decisive fall.
We know what the sadistic stipulation is next.
Oh, and the NXT Universe reacting to the lowering of this chamber of horrors.
And Cole and Gargano must look at the ceiling and see themselves become trapped.
Look at the accoutrements of annihilation that are fastened to this cage. Oh my God, is that barbed wire? There's a fire extinguisher, kendo stick. Oh, wow.
That eerie response from the NXT Universe as we take a look at how we got to this stage of the match. The first fall here, a simple wrestling match, not so simple. It was a low blow from Adam Cole that nearly secured the victory. Somehow Gargano able to survive.
You guys.
A crafty move from Adam Cole led up to this moment where we see Gargano absolutely snap and hand over the first fall to Adam Cole.
The winner of the first fall via disqualification, Adam Cole.
We are about to add another ring of hell to Dante's Inferno.
After losing that first fall, Gargano going berserk. And here, with more offense, blocking the attempt. Oh, and driving Cole through the Spanish announce desk. Absolute reckless abandon. Following up with this long dart into the chair.
And this sadistic NXT Universe in Toronto chanting, "Thank you, Regal."
With that submission tap from Adam Cole, we are now down.
All right, there it is. Let's talk about this. With all due respect to the replays that we just saw, it is all about what you see in front of you right now. Nigel, Beth, two of the greatest. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
This is absolutely frightening, Mauro. You can see the points, the sharp, injurious
Every
weapons.
weapon in there is legal. Nigel, I wear glasses. That is barbed wire up there, right?
That is indeed barbed wire.
I see handcuffs hanging. My Lord.
The third.
There is no escape from the cage. The only way to win is via pinfall or submission.
Wow, it all comes down to this final brutal fall inside this sadistic structure. And immediately Cole going for a kendo stick. Gargano and Cole now exchanging strikes. Who wants the NXT Championship that much more?
An array of weaponry inside. Hold on!
Oh, wow.
Forget about the weapons. It's just guts and determination.
The weapons are attached to their bodies, their fists, their feet, their clotheslines.
Imagine what these two are made of after everything they've been through to this point.
My goodness, how the temperature has changed from a classic wrestling match to a street fight to, I don't even know what to call this, guys. Kendo stick, but a super kick by Gargano. Gargano. And now they are swinging like Major League Baseball sluggers. Oh, double super kick. Nearly 14,000 have just erupted like a volcano.
We are in for the fight of a lifetime.
NXT continues to raise the bar, even when it comes to brutality. Here we are, third and final fall. Remember, they've already been through a 2 out of 3 falls match. Another epic battle at TakeOver 25. And in this rubber match, they have got to, well, they've got to go to the ends of the earth to walk out of Toronto NXT champion. Gargano looking, oh, he's already peering up at that ladder. Gargano's climbing the turnbuckles. Again,
he's painting a mental
can't
picture.
escape the cage.
It looks like Gargano's putting weapons together to paint some sort of chaos.
This is a sadist dream, this sort of a matchup.
No escape. You have to win by pinfall or submission for the NXT championship. Door is changed. There's barbed wire at the top. And there's a reverse run-up by Johnny Gargano. Cole finds himself on the chair. He doesn't know where he is. And Johnny Gargano just blasted him in the mush. Cover! Oh! Johnny Gargano. These two superstars are literally in a prison.
That might have been a little receipt for Cole's arrogance early in the match.
Throwback to his old DIY days. Meeting Cole with that super kick. Right to the back of the neck. It was just
NXT Universe screaming fight forever. Knowing how much these two want to be the best, knowing how good both Gargano and Cole are, they may indeed have to fight forever.
This is going to get hard to watch, I can tell you.
Oh, Gargano setting the table. It's not going to be a tasty meal for Adam Cole.
Might be time to put Grandma to bed.
Johnny Gargano would love to put Adam Cole's title reign to bed. What does Johnny Gargano have in mind? Oh, Adam Cole just stabbed him with that chair in the midsection. Oh! Wailing Johnny Gargano with the chair.
Giving Gargano every part of what Gargano gave him earlier in the first fall.
These two athletes finding ways to get creative with their cruelty.
Adam Cole climbing, looking for another chair. Again, there's so many weapons. Everywhere you look, danger. Oh my God, as Johnny Gargano just found out firsthand.
That ominous barbed wire wrapped around the top of his cage, figuratively keeping both superstars in the ring, but perhaps keeping the Undisputed Era out of the ring.
You know, Mick Foley's at home looking at that barbed wire and smiling. This is his kind of matchup. Oh! Backcracker! A backstabber by Adam Cole. Is it enough to retain the title? No.
An uncomfortable display of brutality.
And you wonder what this is going to do to each of these two superstars' psyche, regardless of who becomes NXT champion, Nigel. This will change these two men forever.
Matches like this, they do change your career. They change your lifestyle. They change your lifetime.
And Adam Cole limping, walking gingerly.
They put miles on your body that you can never get off.
And now, Adam Cole with a couple of chairs. Cole just shouted to Gargano, it's over.
Under his breath, telling Gargano it's over. Oh boy.
It's takeover. Now Gargano, top turnbuckle. Gargano disqualified in the first fall. The wrestling match came back to win the second fall, forcing Adam Cole to tap out in the street fight. And now William Regal's stipulation, this structure of just horrible. Oh, wow. And there's Johnny Gargano looking to extinguish the NXT Championship reign of Adam Cole. Tornado DDT on the chairs. Adam Cole now down. Gargano with the cover for two.
Cole was blinded by the fire extinguisher, had no idea where he was at.
This is getting ugly. Take a look to your point there. No way that Cole had any idea what was coming. His head being driven into the chair.
Adam Cole stated at the end of the night the entire Undisputed Era would be draped in gold. That's not been the case. He is the last chance to walk out of Toronto champion. but his title reign in a tenuous position.
Last vestige of any kind of respect for the Undisputed Era.
Oh, wow.
You can see the welts raising up on Adam Cole's back.
And Johnny Gargano looking up to the top.
What's he looking at?
Well, he just
Wait a second. Did you see
stick.
what I saw?
What?
Look right there!
Oh, wow, there's a sledgehammer. Johnny Gargano wants to play the game. As a Cole climbing the cage.
Race to the top.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God, that's got to be it. Johnny Gargano to become a 2. No, gets a 2 count.
Take a look here. Both men trying for the sledgehammer, but instead Gargano changing his strategy to keep the offense.
So we know that Adam Cole's right leg's been injured. You have to know that his back is out of sorts after that vicious move. The champion being tested like he's never been tested before.
You're Adam Cole, it's like you've been in a car wreck at this point.
Johnny Gargano again now. Oh, and he has that sledgehammer. Oh, my. Oh, no, Johnny, what is going through your mind?
An eerie, stunned response from the NXT universe.
Oh, wow. I don't know, this may be going too far, guys. Oh! Again, Adam Cole, and another super kick. How the hell is Adam Cole still in this matchup, guys?
Grit and determination, a refusal to quit.
Oh, wow, he's refusing to stay in the...
Cole's
on the canvas. He's climbed up to the top turnbuckle.
I'll tell you why, he's got eyes on the biggest weapon in this entire match.
You're right, Beth. Oh my God! He just launched the ladder. Gargano barely escaped. Oh, wow! Panama Sunrise! Panama Sunrise! No! A Canadian destroyer in Canada, the Panama Sunrise.
Oh! It was nearly the sunset for Johnny Gargano's NXT Championship hopes. Look at that display of brutality.
3 letters that spell the gold standard in sports entertainment. NXT been on full display throughout the night, culminating with this colossal confrontation for the NXT Championship. 1 fall apiece. But will they both fall to pieces when all is said and done, Nigel?
Now Cole, interesting strategy.
And
getting himself up higher. That puts himself very susceptible as we see Johnny Gargano crawling behind.
Cole's got a close eye on Gargano.
Could be looking for another Panama Sunrise.
Oh my God. He is, and he did it! Oh my God, Cole did it again! Panama Sunrise, the cover! This has to be it! That's, oh my God! I thought Cole just put his stamp on the end of this epic rivalry. How did Johnny Gargano escape?
We'll get an example here of just how.
Unbelievable.
All the impact, but Johnny Gargano is not human.
He really is a superhero. I know he's a Marvel fanatic, but it's incredible the amount of punishment that Gargano's able to absorb, Beth.
You took the words right out of my mouth earlier. How is he continuing to kick out? What is Johnny Gargano made of?
And speaking of that, what about Adam Cole? Continues to pull out the high-risk maneuvers and now utilizing a kendo stick. Sticking it to the challenger.
Earlier we were trying to discern between an injured arm and injured knee, but I would argue these guys are hurting top to bottom at this point.
Well, Cole seemingly forgotten about that previous injury.
Well, the one good thing is Cole, an avid scuba diver, he has conditioning for days. He has the lung capacity to go all night long, and we've seen the same from Johnny Gargano. But in a match like this, Nigel, you would think it would truncate the proceedings because of the danger, because of the weapons at play.
You would certainly think that a match would end sooner than otherwise. Talking trash. Oh, there's no way. No.
Johnny hits the chair. The knee hit the chair. Cole is writhing in pain. The knee from early on in the match, and now Gargano looking to utilize that kendo stick.
There we go.
STO with the kendo stick in the jaw.
Yeah, the STO with the kendo stick.
He's biting.
Wow.
He's biting.
Cole just bit Gargano.
No disqualifications. Cole can do what he wants.
And he is doing just that. The depths of depravity biting the challenger's hand.
This match is broken down into absolute savagery.
And the NXT universe is soaking up every scintillating second.
Both superstars battling over that fallen sledgehammer.
Cole uncorking a series of right hands. Oh! Yes!
That's it! It's over!
It's gotta be over!
Has to be it!
Johnny Gargano, though, nursing a leg injury as well.
Cole with broken ribs!
It's a war of attrition!
Oh my God, this has gone too far! Someone needs to stop this!
Johnny Gargano would like to put a permanent stop to this incredible rivalry. Johnny Gargano wants to become a two-time NXT champion.
An impact to the liver like that can leave you absolutely unable to move.
Oh, come on,
Wow.
this is... No one wants to see this. Please end this match as soon as possible.
The NXT Championship's not the only thing at stake. Their careers are potentially at stake. How does one recover? How does one go on following a battle of this epic proportions, especially housed in this sinister structure?
I would argue one day, long into their retirements, they'll think back on this moment. They'll remember that pain, everything that they went through on this evening.
Cole has got to have a broken rib, at least a cracked rib at this point.
Broken bodies, and for one, it will result in broken dreams. Only one can walk out of Toronto NXT champion. Neither will ever be the same. That I can guarantee.
Oh,
my
here we
God.
go.
What is Johnny Gargano thinking? He has gone, oh, Cole just rolled off the table.
Now I think Gargano's aware, gonna have to come back down.
Adam Cole struggling to get back up to his feet. Johnny Gargano stalking him.
Wise decision by Adam Cole.
Oh, but there!
Oh,
Cole!
Come on, please!
My God.
End this
Gargano
now!
strafing Cole's back with the kendo stick. Remember, they've already been through a grueling classic wrestling match. They also went through a vicious street fight, and they have just upped the ante here. Oh my God! Mamma Mia!
That's it, new
Oh my
champion!
God!
It is
New
over!
champion!
Forget it! What on earth?
We have
Are you
almost
kidding me?
gone an hour, and I can't believe what the hell I just witnessed.
Taking a page out of Cole's playbook.
Avalanche, Canadian Destroyer, and Cole kicked out. What's left to be said, guys? Honestly. I guess that is it. Fight forever. The way this is going, we could be here well into forever.
This goes beyond moves.
What is this now? Don't tell. Oh my God. Oh, there's brass knuckles. Is that a bolt cutter?
They're pliers, I
Pliers?
think. Oh,
I think
no. But remember, the match between Triple H and Batista. The damage that the game inflicted.
What is he doing with the pliers?
I think
What? Oh, he's cutting the barbed wire. Oh, no. Oh, wow. There may be a different crown on the head of Adam Cole soon. Oh, jeez.
I don't want to see this.
No. Like,
This is too much.
I get it. I get it. This is what the NXT Championship means to both superstars. I understand, but this, you're right, Nigel and Beth, that Cole. Oh, Cole's trying to get away from. Cole is trying. Remember, he can't escape, but he's trying to get away from Johnny Gargano, knowing Gargano has the barbed wire.
He's literally crawling atop the cage.
This is it.
Oh, come on.
A surge of anticipation.
These two men both have families. These two men still have a lot more they want to accomplish in their respective careers. But Nigel, I know I'm prone to hyperbole, but this could all end tonight and end very, very badly for both superstars.
I cannot take my eyes off of this. Look how high they are now. 15, 20 feet in the air, perhaps.
The only thing higher is the intensity of this rivalry, Beth.
When you talk about history being made,
no. Oh,
we are
no.
looking at it.
Oh, Mama effing Mia! What the hell?
Goes on top! Goes on top! It's done it!
Here is your winner, and still the NXT champion, Adam Cole!
I can say with utter certainty, I don't believe what we just witnessed.
I'm stunned. Look at this. 20 feet through the air, driven through a table. And by the grace of God, here from a different angle. Oh, just imagine the damage done to the midsection already. And again, Beth.
What these two competitors brought to the table tonight is absolutely unbelievable.
By the slimmest of margins.
For those who get it, no explanation is necessary. For those who don't, guys, no explanation will ever do. We have just witnessed one of the most brutal matches in NXT history, and you talk about an exclamation point for the ages. Adam Cole retains the NXT Championship, but neither he nor Johnny Gargano will ever be the same.
One last look at this incredible impact. Both superstars going through the table, and at the last second, the champion had the wherewithal just to roll over, just to get her arm across the chest of his fallen opponent, and that was enough to prove the difference.
The gold is going home with Adam Cole, but so are the nightmares of one of the most epic battles in NXT history, Nigel. And what a way to put a capstone on this rivalry, Beth.
When you talk about the sacrifices that these athletes make for the passion that they have, I think that we just witnessed history this evening.
SummerSlam weekend off to a scintillating start. Adam Cole remains NXT champion. Big Bang.